Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is that time again in your week from the sidelines, episode 133. It's coming at you right now. We got the boys. They're here as always. Steven Hatch, how you doing, man?
Dude, fantastic. Ready for it, 133? Dude, that number just keeps getting bigger. It is insane. Dude,
okay,
I'm
we do
excited
this
for our
bit
guest
every
tonight.
week. We can't do the bit every single
week. Let me tell you, I'm excited to get into our guest. I've always seen him at paintball events for a long time growing up, and dude, I'm excited to get into it.
Well, I'm going to bleep his name there. Our guest has been at events longer than most of us have been alive. So just know that, guys. Brando Baird, how you doing, man? You're our other co-host. You're here with us every week.
Oh, we're good. Storms pass. Internet should be fine. No freezings here, but we're good. After a really long week. First, we got a really short week. Then a really long out. Timing's always weird when we have these weird weeks, you know.
You sound out of place. You sound disoriented, and that's how I like you, Brandon. So, without further ado, let's get into our sponsors. We got Liquid IV. They start at the show every week. Liquid IV, the great hydration multiplier that we use here on the show and out at the field. Liquid IV, you can head on to their website, liquidiv.com. Use promo code Mafia_Moffitt. Throw some products in your cart. They do have a lot of different options. If you haven't checked out their website in a little bit, they have obviously their hydration multiplier, the sugar and the sugar-free version. They have the immunity support booster. They have I think it's a energy booster as well. There's tons of new flavors every month. They drop a couple new flavors on their site, so it's always, it's worth your while to go check it out at liquidiv.com. See what else they got cooked up over there. And one last time, promo code Mafia_Moffitt. Save 20% off and get free shipping at your checkout over there. And let's keep moving forward. Next sponsor up, NECTR Energy. The boys over there, the Martin twins. They're behind one of the better energy pouches in the game. If you're unaware, it's going to look kind of like a Zyn, a tobacco product, something of that sort. But the big difference is there is no nicotine or tobacco in Nectar. There is just caffeine and a nootropic. I'm getting there. Every time I say it now, I hear Lastro in my head saying, dude, just say it right, bro. Hopefully he's laughing in his car listening to this. But NECTR Energy, they're great. Not only do they have the energy pouches, NECTR Energy as a company is also releasing some other supplement lines. So if you're curious, head on over to their website, nectar.energy, promo code MafiaProductions, all one word over there. Buy 2 cans, get 1 free. And let's keep it moving forward. Last but not least tonight, Welts Clothing, weltsclothing.com. Brandon, I know you got something nearby to show off for Welts tonight. Brand new Welts Wednesday drop. Just came out last week.
Bam.
Pretty fast shipping time, too.
Dude, wild. It actually came earlier than what they usually... It's about a week. It came in 4 days, I think. Dude, I love these shirts. Well, if you want to grab a high-quality Welts shirt for yourself, A, you got to be there the first Wednesday of every month, which is Welts Wednesday, and B, you got to be quick, because stuff does tend to sell out from them. They drop a lot of awesome products over on their website. It comes to apparel, merchandise, we got straps, we got jerseys, we got long sleeves, undershirts, a whole bunch of different options. Welts Clothing, there's some great guys over there. They do some cool things for the Texas paintball community, and yeah, we appreciate their support over here on From the Sidelines. One last time, FTS over there. Save yourself some money at weltsclothing.com. All right, Hatch. Well, without further ado, buddy, I think we got to bring our guest in. Do you want to do the favor tonight?
Oh, dude, let's go. Another week where I get to, bring him in. Hey,
I'm going to start sprinkling these in.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce our guest. He's been in the paintball world longer than apparently I've been alive, according to Ryan.
Apparently than you've been alive. Yeah.
Yep, apparently more than I've been alive. We got David Quitman. How are you feeling, my brother? Quittskii, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Let's give him his round of applause. He deserves it.
I agree. I agree with everything he's done in the paintball community. Dude, let me tell you, you have made such cool videos, to where, dude, I remember when I was a kid, I would show my friends your video, because I was the paintball kid growing up, right, at my school, to where I would show all of these old HK videos and stuff, and I was like, dude, this is the guy who makes these sick ass videos. I remember I would show him your Instagram and stuff like that. So, man, it's good to have you on here, bro.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Well,
yeah. I don't know, where do we even start? Ryan, were you at World Cup this year? Because I don't know how I didn't run into you.
You were at Cup this past year?
I was. I didn't.
Yeah, I was there all days, and I didn't run into you once.
Well, it's because I didn't go on the field. I went from HK booth to the pro field pits, and that's it, and then back and forth and back and forth.
Oh, and then we probably were ships in the night at multiple points in time.
Yeah, possibly, or something like that. But no joke, it kind of like hit me when I left. I was like, oh shit, I didn't run in the Ryan. Because I always do like catching up with you and stuff like that. Especially
if you haven't been to World Cup, that should be a good kind of like marker for how big that event has gotten. It's absolutely insane. You can go the whole event without running into someone, even if you're in the same areas with them.
Absolutely. You have to seek people out. Like Quittskii is one of those people where I will seek out every single time. I'm like, is he actually there, right? Because obviously sometimes you're not at every paintball event now because you're more on the airsoft side. Which congratulations, that's pretty sick.
Thank you.
I'm excited to get back into that with you. So every time if I see you at an event, I'm like, sheesh, I better work my way over to the HK booth.
Well, it was lucky because since you were pitting for Impact, so we did get all that kind of time in the pits and stuff like that. I tried to peer at your iPad and see what that tech was right there.
Yep.
I won't say anything.
Yeah, I was leading a little bit of the charge over there at Impact. So I'm not going to give too many details, but hey, definitely a super team this year for sure.
I'll tell you this, podcast audience, I don't even know what they're talking about, so that means Hatch hasn't told me. That's all I'm going to say. All right,
no,
it's that top secret confidential information.
No, let me tell you, under NDA from Impact, I'm not alled to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, there you go. That's how serious it is.
Yeah, it was pretty serious.
Well, we love to hear that. So, confirmed that Edmonton Impact is using radios in the pits? Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Not confirmed. Not confirmed. Officially defirmed.
Okay.
Is that the word?
Well,
is that the word?
No, but you're close enough.
Good enough.
Let's get back with Quitman. Bring him on into the show. It's the first time we've had you on the show, man, but I know we've all run into you at events over the years. You've talked about it on other shows previously, but just, if someone out there, maybe they haven't seen you in paintball the last couple of years because you were doing that thing in airsoft. Where did your whole journey begin with this? I mean, you've been here for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, so do you like on the media side or just paintball, like the sport in general?
Sport in general, honestly. Longer
than I've been alive. I do want to hear the media stuff though, because for people who don't know, it's a big story over there.
Oh, for sure.
So like most people that get into paintball, I started 4th grade at a friend's birthday party. I went, had a blast. It turned out that my dad, he owns a car repair business, and his shop foreman used to play professional paintball, like back in the days where it was just like goggles and like squeegees in the mouth and stuff like that.
Oh God.
I forgot the name of the team. I should have done my homework before I came on here. But he at the car shop. At the car shop, he had a tool at his tool bench. He had a bunch of his paintball guns and stuff like that, and my dad bought one off him, so that was my first paintball gun. It was a mini mag, which back in the day when it's all Tippmann, was it even? It might have even been pre-Tippmann 98s. I think it was like the older.
There's a lot of cockers.
There were some autocockers. There were some Angels, but people were bringing their compressed air tanks, like scuba tanks, to the field. The field did not have a fill station. So it was like that kind of era. And then when I was that young, I played very occasionally, not like every weekend. I don't think it was till like middle school that I started going every weekend, and we had some indoor fields in my area. We had one called X Park that was kind of close to my house, and that was just an indoor.
For reference, where did you grow up? Did you grow up in SoCal, right?
In the San Fernando Valley, kind of like all over all over like LA County area. Before my dad had the car business, he was a general contractor and architect. So he'd buy a lot, build the house, we'd live in it while he built another house and stuff. And then we would sell the one we were in, and then to the next one, to the next one. So I did move around, but it was it was all kind of around in like the same general part of LA. Like, never more than like the furthest two from each other, probably no more than like 15 miles or anything like that.
Okay.
But the housing market fell apart, so we got the car, he got the auto shop, which is a little bit more recession safe, kinda. I don't know.
I mean, you do always need a car.
People,
for sure.
And when times are hard, more people are going to spend more money to fix their current car than buy a new car. So it kind of has that going for it. So anyways, back on paintball. So I started playing more indoors, got on some, like local teams and stuff, and then I had a video camera when I was really young because, oh man, do I go into this part?
Yes.
I used to professionally act when I was like 7-8 years old. So I was in some,
and then
like,
I go into my part where I say, Quitty, I did the same exact thing, bro. Except I was in the Bay Area.
We might have talked about this before, like IRL.
Mine bought me my E-Tech and my first gaming PC. So, yeah, it was a good investment.
Nice.
Yeah.
I started acting professionally, and that kind of sparked my interest in like video and stuff like that. So luckily, like I got a video camera like around age 12 or 13, a digital camera. I had an 8mm camera I got when I was younger. Like after I wrapped a commercial, the director gave me an 8mm camera. But it's really hard for someone that young to do anything with an 8mm camera. You either got to develop your own film or send it off to a house, they call it a film house or whatever, a development house.
It's not cheap.
To get it developed, and I'm not gonna do that as like a little kid.
Yeah, 12-year-old, dude. I'm still reading Magic Treehouse,
what are
bro.
I forget what they're called. The old school, the machines that you would throw like film reels on to like stitch them together and actually do editing back in the day.
Yeah. So I actually ended up using that in college because
there you go. I mean, that makes sense. Like film,
The intro film classes were the first film class was 8mm, and then the next one was 16, and you had to do those two before you did anything digital or anything like that. So luckily, that gift I got when I was 8 years old, like I was the only kid in my college 8mm class that had his own 8mm camera. So
wow.
It worked out. Yeah, I didn't have to rent or
Film's a
like
dying
that,
art, kids.
Yeah, and then we developed the film ourselves in class and stuff. Like it was,
Oh yeah.
We have it so easy now with digital, dude. It's know.
I had a photo class.
I grabbed this thing right here.
My teacher was crazy.
Plug it in, boom, I download it.
and then
really
even
simple.
that is better than what I had when I started doing the
when you
media
DV
shit.
tapes?
Mini DV tapes. And you had to capture it in real time. So if I shot the whole tape, which was like over an hour, I would literally sit my camera on my desk with it plugged, the camera itself plugged into the computer with a firewire cable, an 8-pin firewire cable. Such old technology now. And transfer the footage in 1-to-1 time. Unlike now where if you're running like fast cards and solid states, you can like I filmed something this weekend. I dumped my 160 gigabyte card in like under 5 minutes. And all that came out it was hours and hours and hours of footage. So
are you saying like 1-to-1 time? So would it take an hour to upload an hour? God damn.
Yeah, because Brandon, you weren't uploading. You were essentially just recapturing that film format into a digital format.
Yeah, it's just like kind of transcoding.
It's a
bitch. Dude, it was.
Oh my god.
But you could like. So me, like, I kind of would just, especially when I do old paintball videos, I would just capture everything and stuff. The right way to do it is you set ins and out points, and that's where it got like super. I don't know if you ever watch old skate videos where they put their hand like in front of the lens.
Yep.
So that's used as a marker for when you're setting your ins and outs and stuff. Well, it's two things. Originally, it was for capturing. You knew where to end like the capture. So you're only capturing like that portion of the clip, and then it kind of evolved into now that it's. You don't capture video that way. Now it's like the end, like a good clip. Someone will do that, so that's where the editor knows the cut, like right before that. Like that's the take.
No, I thought that was for sick transitions.
And you can.
To this day, I know I do it. Enrique does it. A couple of the other guys on the pro field. If you catch a cool clip, you record like a 5-second clip covering, like just having your black hand or your hand in front of the lens, so it blacks out the shot. So that way, when you're looking through, you see your good shot followed by a black shot, and that one before is one that I should take a look at.
Yeah, the other methods. I forgot who. I think it was Gary Baum that told me he does this. I think I don't want to, but he would point up at the sky and do it. He would point up at the sky and do it, and so it would be just you'd see the
blue shot.
A few shots of blue. I think he'd run a couple, but I don't know if it was. I think it was him. I'm not sure though. It might be somone else.
It's a good
it's a
tip
good
either way.
Tip out there.
That's a great tip.
It really when you're like scrolling through because I'm sure I never really shot photo. But like I'm sure photographers when you're scrolling through everything it stands out that when you're looking at like hopefully you don't have it in list format, you have it in thumbnails so you can
Lightroom
see
grid.
the preview and you just see you'll see that your indicator frame, you just go back one like there it is, super, and that can anything that can speed up your workflow is so valuable in video. Like being organized, like any little kind of like tips and stuff or like tricks you do like that you're like accustomed to and you do a lot when you're editing, it just saves you so much time in the long run.
Learn hotkeys, kids.
Oh yeah.
I was a dumbass for like 3 years when I was starting to learn how to edit, and I was like, nah, you just click the thing. What? You don't need to press stuff. Just learn that C is cut, learn that V is your cursor. If you want to change stuff around, you can. There's some other really cool ones, but like, man, it saves you so much time.
I think we use different. I use Final Cut 7 hotkeys in Premiere Pro.
Oh, did you just remap everything?
No, there's a setting for it. So I came from.
Oh, that's sick.
I did a lot of my initial like learning to edit on Final Cut Pro, and then when Final Cut Pro went from like V7 to X or 10 or whatever it is, to me it felt like it turned into iMovie. And I hate iMovie.
Interesting.
So I was working in the surf industry for the Surf Channel at that time, and we were editing something for Fox Sports, and we were doing it in Final Cut 7, and it kept crashing and crashing and crashing and crashing. So finally, my boss, our producer, said, "All right, after this project, we're switching over to Premiere and seeing how we do on that." And I was just like, "Premiere? Like, I don't need a Mac anymore? I could PC game again now?"
Yeah,
I could buy a PC. I could buy a PC and write it off. Like, what?
The best thing about, I mean, because for years Final Cut was a standard for editing, for video editing. I mean, you had stuff like Sony Vegas and some other small properties, but Final Cut was like, it was the most well known and used, and before you get to stuff like Avid and some of the other crazy.
So yeah, Final Cut's non-linear editing, I believe. Avid is linear editing, or I have the two reversed. They're different like styles of editing.
I believe it's reversed, because it's the linear is kind of like it's like timeline type layout, where Avid you start to get node-based type stuff.
But on Avid, I've heard, because I've never used Avid, and that's honestly growing up.
I never have either.
A big downfall.
You need a lot of money to learn it, or even get a license for it.
Yeah, you gotta go to like a trade school, or like if your film school teaches like Avid or something like that. But like, dude, so many jobs I applied for were like Avid only. That's what they use. It's a full Avid studio. I'm like, man, like, do I go in and try to say like, yeah, proficient, and try to fake my way through it and stuff like that? But supposedly it's very different. Like the way you edit on Avid's very different than Premiere or Final Cut Pro or Vegas or any of those ones. But anyways, the main thing is
DaVinci Resolve and like all the ones now on like the consumer side are they're similar. You can kind of work your way through most of them pretty well. But yeah, no, Avid, it's kind of a legacy software at this point. So
but it's still widely used.
It's keeping people employed. That's essentially what it is. There's like, it's what, ACE, or the American Guild of Editors, or I forget what the one is. But yeah, they're probably just keeping that in so they can keep themselves employed.
Okay,
Unions,
I got a quick something you touched on for a second. So you said you were editing for Fox Sports. Can you get into that a little bit?
It was a surf competition called the Supergirl Pro. It's a surf competition that takes place down in Oceanside, actually kind of near where like they do the WCPPL at Camp B. So that pier, they throw like it's an all-girls surf thing. The year we did it, it was sponsored by Paul Mitchell. So they were fronting most of the bill.
I feel like I remember seeing that, dude.
Yes. I forgot what year they run the comp a lot. I don't know if it's still televised and stuff like that. But the year that we had the contract to do the, like, for the broadcast, and then because then you have to do all the athlete interviews and stuff like that.
Okay.
I got hired for that job for that project, pretty much, to become like I was kind of like an assistant editor. We already had another main editor, and there was I think 2 other assistants on that project, and we were all working off a big server on the same. Everyone had different role and sequences and stuff. Like, I think I started doing some, like, I started with the athlete bio picks and stuff, which is taking the athlete interview, getting the B-roll. But unfortunately I didn't get to shoot any of it. That was already all done, and then I got brought in for the editing process, and then afterwards they asked me if I wanted to stay along and work there full time. But they did some shysty stuff. They still employed me as like a 1099 or something like that, even though I was like full time. And
they don't gotta pay benefits.
I'm not gonna go into it, but kind of sus,
Okay.
But then that's how I can write my new computer off.
World.
Yeah,
nice.
But yeah, because I was 1099 and you can write more stuff off. So that's when I completely upgraded my computer, got rid of like the iMac. Well, I still have the iMac I was using. It's over there. Just
holding on
pretty.
to it.
I mean, if I ever have a project where someone delivers me a Mac hard drive and I need to, format it to Windows, then I have the perfect thing for it.
Okay.
Even though
valid use case. You sold me on that one.
Yeah, so that's why it's staying around.
All right. Well, so speaking of, obviously you have a very strong background in, production stuff. You brought that into paintball very early, and my camera froze, but we're back. We're good. You brought that into paintball very early, underneath the brand 818 Productions. What was that time for you? Because that was kind of the Wild West of, paintball, but especially the Wild West of paintball media. It was like a new thing was popping up every week, it seemed, in that era.
Yeah, so paintball media on like the amateur, I guess, side didn't really exist. You
like
had
a hobby side, yeah.
Dirter was just kind of coming on the scene with 300 feet per second. You had like the great Patrick Spoor. Oh my god, I'm gonna Patrick Spoor would like push and I think he did. Did he do Sunday Drivers? I think he might have.
I think he helped work on it. I think Brian Benini had another part on that. There was. there was like those 3 guys who worked a lot on all those.
Okay.
Yeah, so you had his, I guess, which was Monkey with a Gun. You had Dirter. Trauma Head Sports was doing their thing, which I love Trauma Head. Even to this day,
shout
shout
out Dan Napoli, that was his.
Dude, I'll get those recommended like on my Facebook reels every once in a while, like the old like grainy footage of just people getting fucked up, and I'm just like, this is what I like.
Well, I love Trauma Head because they upload full matches and they had the guy commentating it. And I don't know, his voice was very unique and stuff, and like some of the lines he said were like super cheesy, but as a paintballer, you embrace it. But as a paintballer, you appreciate it and stuff like that. So we had those 3. 720 video, I guess, was kind of a thing. They were doing like full X-Ball match videos and stuff. Like I still have a 720 DVD, probably at my parents' house somewhere. In my
720. Is that based off 720p? Is that where that name came from?
I honestly don't know. It was like it was a legit DVD though. So I mean, on my TV, the quality I guess looked good. But they would do like full it was multicam X-Ball matches and stuff like that. Like sick. Full matches. So those were always like fun to watch. And then what else was there? Jawbreaker video series. But so those were all pro movies though. Like they were either coming out on VHS,
Jawbreaker,
or DVD. Eventually DVD. But the early ones like Push was VHS and stuff. So on like the amateur side, there was not a lot of us. There were some, but this is like early. YouTube was either not a thing or just like becoming a thing. So like I don't know, I liked making videos, and like no one was really doing it, and like so I just started going to the field with my camera, would film some stuff, go home, edit it to like whatever pop punk / screamo track I was into at the time, Hell
yeah. Didn't have to worry about copyright or anything like that.
No, that was the last old days. And I'm downloading the music off like what was it back then?
LimeWire.
I think pre-LimeWire, Kazaa Lite, So it's getting my, getting viruses on the computer and stuff like that, the good old days. But yeah, so there wasn't a lot of people doing it, but like paintball, I don't know, paintball back then, it was like I call it, the golden age, I guess, like early 2000s to like 2006. I kind of got out of it not out of it, but I kind of took like a break and wasn't as serious 2007-ish, because I moved away for college and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know, just like going to SE Village was so fun. All the HK guys, that's where they got their start and stuff like that. The not random pro teams, I mean like the pro teams that would just randomly be there on that weekend, like grinding it out with each other, whether it's Dynasty, Iron Man, the Bushwhackers, eventually like Legacy when that became a team. And then all like the really good like divisional teams. There's one called Platinum, which a bunch of like those guys that eventually pro were on and stuff like that. And yeah, dude, it was just, I don't know, it was a different time back then. Like, the pro teams would bring their own airball field because SC Village didn't really have a designated airball. They had the legendary hyperball fields, which blast to play on. I wish the OG ones were still there, but, they made more room for airsoft fields. The irony,
The irony.
I love that. The irony. Yeah, no, I mean, that's awesome. Speaking of like the old other guys in media around that time, one name that I've only been able to watch his stuff through being online, because he did kind of, leave the sport. But during 2020, he came out with some great videos, dusting off some of his old footage. But Stealth Media.
That's my boy.
I think Nick.
That's my boy, Nick Champion.
Yeah, Nick Champion's his last name. I wanted to make sure I got that right. But yeah, I mean, I've watched a majority of his content, and I know nothing about this dude because I just never met him, never really saw him even. He wasn't like in content himself.
Yeah, so like shout out to Nick. I'm actually good friends with Nick. We've been talking for the past like few months. Right when he got back like he wanted to start doing it again. The dude works as a firefighter, and he's been down here. I'm pretty sure he's been like at the fires and stuff.
Working the Palisades,
the crazy fires around here and stuff like that. So he's on his schedule. It's like I think 4 on, 4 off or something like that. So when he's not working, he's like, I want to start get back into it. So when he's
sick.
So we talk cameras and stuff. He actually came by the HK warehouse when I was there, and we talked camera for like 2+ hours maybe. And we talked stuff, and then tried to help any questions he had about getting back into it, because it's kind of changed a little bit. He went with a very unique camera choice. Something that wouldn't have been my first pick, because it's more akin to like the old camcorder style. Because so back in the day, him and I both had FX1s. He, no joke though, back then he had a better understanding of codecs and resolutions and stuff, because his stuff looked better than mine, like way better. And he shot tripod. And
I want to bring this in.
His stuff was unreal for how young he was.
Time Capsule looks so good. Like, it's crazy to me how well he was able to preserve some of that footage. And like you saying, it was just that understanding of how to get things in the right codec, even back in that day when none of us knew what the fuck we were doing with rappers and shit.
And that's like YouTube tutorials kind of stuff. I was terrible with exporting videos, and I think that was like kind of the downfall to some of my early stuff. Too. Like, I would export, I'd finish a video and I'd go to export it, and then I click on it and it would either be like huge, like file size wise, and then you open it up and then it's a tiny image. It's like 320 by 120 or something like that. Or it would be square back then, square, because it was like a square DV camcorder before I upgraded to the FX1. Yeah, so I think my first one was kind of square, and then at 4x3, and then finally when I got the FX1, it was 16:9. But
there's just something about 4x3 footage. I just no 16:9 footage will ever beat it in my head, and it's 100% pure nostalgia. I understand that, but whenever I see someone uses 4x3 creatively in like modern day stuff, I'm just like, oh, I love it. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
I like wider better. Like, I've been doing 2:1 sequences, like 2:1. So it's a little bit wider and stuff like that.
But that's just that cinematic, very trying to almost fake an anamorphic look, kind of.
That's me. I've got money to have an anamorphic lens out on the field either, man.
But bro, if you give me some staticky 4x3 footage, I feel like I'm 6 again, and I love it every day.
The rose-colored, the rose-tinted glasses.
Exactly.
Just like perfect.
Objectively, it's not as good. I understand.
Nice.
But anyways, so Nick Champion, so his stuff, like his old stuff still looks great even on YouTube. He did the video with the Soldier Boy music track with like Aftermath back in the day. That one's a banger if you haven't seen it. It's got Crank That with Soldier Boy as the music track. It's at the old Raza Field. Who? Everyone. Every SoCal.
Because I was like, dude, I remember seeing the young Rainy in that video with his hair just flying out of his beanie and just running. Yeah,
it's young Rainy. It's young Mouse is in that. It's got literally everyone.
Probably Marcelo.
What's up?
Tyler. Marcelo and Tyler.
I don't know about. It's mostly Aftermath.
NorCal.
Yeah, he was more NorCal, I think, back then, and this was just like a random scrim Sunday, I'm pretty sure. But if you go back and watch it, you'd have, I don't know, type in Stealth Media. I forgot the exact name of the video.
Oh, thank you, Brando.
Stealth Media, SB Aftermath.
That one's fire video. Fire. Even with a Soldier Boy track, fire video.
Post-show watch.
Post-show watch? All right, we'll keep it up for that, boys. If you want to see that video with us, we will watch it on the post show. So make sure you stay tuned to that. You got to be on Patreon for that if you're interested. But yeah, jumping back. I mean, it was a different time back then for sure.
Yeah, so it's funny back then, like Stealth Media, I competition, I guess, but now we're pretty close now and stuff like that. It's so funny. I had a couple like video rivalries when I was younger, dude, just being a young dumbass kid, There's another one, DC Productions. There's this one DC Productions, this kid Dorsey, because I was 818, he was DC. We both were from the San Fernando Valley. But he died out pretty
territory.
Quick. Yeah, kind of and stuff. One of my good friends I still talk to today.
You at my field filming my teams?
A good friend of mine who I still talk to a lot today, he was good friends with that kid, and he'll always text me like DC Productions better or stuff like that, and I'll just be like, DC Productions dead, dude.
Quittskii's still here.
Yeah, I'm still around.
It's been a rebrand, but same guy behind it. Speaking of the rebrand, man, let's fast forward, a lot of years in the future, because I'm okay with that, because
all right.
People, if people have been around in the game for a while, they've seen your content with HK before in the past. You had to step in and fill some pretty big shoes when Cassidy went away, and then Spaniel was there for a little bit, and then it was on your shoulders, and that was, I wouldn't want to do that because of just how absolutely great Cassidy was in that position. But you did that for quite a few years with HK. How long were you originally with them?
Oh man, like I started working part-time with them in 2017. I was working my surf channel job. I'd go in early, like 7 a.m. I'd end at 2. I'd drive down to Gardena, where the HK office was back then, and then I'd shoot stuff with Marky. like, and it was all like Instagram promo stuff. Like that's when swipe ups became a thing, and we were like, HK was the only paintball company who was smart enough to do marketing on like Instagram and social media and stuff like that. All the other companies were years and years and years and years behind. So we were doing all the swipe up stuff.
This was the KLR's paint video. This was that era, right?
I love that era.
Yeah, well, that was a Cassidy video, the KLR paint video.
God damn it! All right,
no, that's Cassidy After Effects, dude. That's like, yeah, that was a great video though, where they're throwing like the buckets of paint.
But I think it was also show that was just HK's mindset about digital marketing when no one else in the game was doing it. JT was not doing anything online at this point in time.
I don't even think they're at this point in time though. I don't think JT was even really doing anything. It hasn't been till lately that there's been like a revival in making new JT products.
I guess that's true because Core. I wonder when Core finally brought that trademark.
Yeah, they went through a bunch of changes of hands or whatever through that whole.
True,
thing,
it was really GI was the big one at that time period.
Yeah, I think JT and Empire too. I think JT was just kind of left in limbo. And the whole JT thing is honestly like a nostalgia movement, that just keeps picking up steam.
Started with BSTs, clears selling for $3K, and then Core's like, crazy. We can make money off this, guys.
Yeah, crazy.
Core.
But yeah, so I started going to
I stand on my principles. I don't fuck with monopolies.
So I go to HK and film stuff with Marky for a few hours, go home, edit it, send it to him, and then I saw like my surf channel job was like going under. So I went to them and I kind of pitched, and I went to HK originally at like a loss. Like I was going to be making less money than my surf channel job. But they like saw like what I was able to do in the beginning of that like kind of like social media marketing world with swipe ups, and the website started booming and stuff. So like it worked. It all worked out for everyone, And then I was there until about 2022. I think, 2022, and I was
about 5 years in that position.
Yeah, a little part time, and then starting in 2018, I went full time. I left my surf channel job, and I was in office Monday through Friday. Then COVID hit, so I was at home for like a day, and then they're like, "Hey, we're making masks, so we got the filter air mask, so you're essential. Come on back to work." So then boom, I got like 1 day of COVIDcation, and then I was back in office every day. So yeah, and then I was there till 2022, and I just got like crazy burnt out on paintball, dude. Like, it was rough. I traveling too much. I thought I was gonna have a little bit more of a break, but more travel came up, and I was just so over it. And yeah, I just kind of said I'm done. I quit. And if I wasn't gonna work in the paint, I always said if I'm going to work in the paintball industry, it's only going to be for HK Army. So that's why I didn't go to any other paintball companies or try to shop around or anything. I was just over with paintball anyways. I was done getting blasted. Dude, it's such a tough job being the media guy at those events, up at 5 a.m. because we sell.
I'm very much over it myself, Quittskii. You're preaching to the choir right now.
Yeah, up at 5:30 a.m. because we sell paint and we have a booth, go to the event, and I'm on the field all day, literally standing in lanes, getting lit up to get the cool shots and stuff like that, I'm very fair skinned, so when it's hot and sunny outside, I don't do well, dude. I just burn. I hate sunscreen because then my hands feel greasy.
Then you're getting heat stroke.
Dude, I actually don't think I've ever gotten heat stroke from paintball. Airsoft, that's another story, though. Well, I guess we'll get there.
That's crazy. I am excited to hear that one.
So like I just burn easy. I don't like sunscreen when I'm filming because then my hands feel greasy all day, and then I touch my camera and it just, And
then you go to adjust something on your screen, and then you've got this huge oil spot and you can't see. And
if you put it on your face, once it gets hot, it melts all into your eyes. And even though it says
and then it gets your foam,
dude, that shit
and then as you sweat, it starts to come out of your foam. Oh god, it's so miserable.
Awful. So I just end up just coming home burnt to a crisp after these events. But I just pretty much
got skin cancer. I'm gonna have it too. So.
Yeah. Oh, I know that's on the menu for me later down in life. So,
that's why I grew out my mullet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you've got the neck
protection. Ultimate sun protection, on my neck. Mullet don't coat that red neck, boy.
Oh yeah. So
it's a good tactic.
You said if I'm gonna get out of this game, I'm not gonna go work for anyone else at paintball. I'm done with paintball.
Yeah, because paintball, I don't know. Anyone can have your own opinions, but when it comes to media and paintball, HK Army's the pinnacle. It doesn't get better. They wrote the book on like the modern day paintball media. Cassidy paved the way
years.
for it. I feel like
for sure.
Granted, I'm sure everyone will say Cassidy's stuff was better than mine. I agree with you. I tried to carry the torch as best as I could. I had really big shoes to fill. I thought I did some stuff that was kind of new that no one else still does, like all the gimbal into the snake stuff. I haven't seen not one other person do it since I've left. So I at least got that one first and last, I guess. First and only.
You know one thing I remember that you tried? I remember it was a clip of, I literally had this in my notes. It was the clip of Mouse when he was on the Latin Saints running to the snake, and that was when like AI was first like a thing, right? So now all of a sudden he's like running to the snake, like turning into fucking Optimus Prime and shit going in there. I'm like, dude, this shit's sick. So tell me about that a little bit.
Ye old Stable Diffusion.
Wasn't Stable Diffusion. I'll ungatekeep it now. Back then, I gatekept the shit out of it because I knew the second I said what app I was using, or AI program app software, I knew it would get overused and flooded and stuff like that.
For sure.
So I gatekept that so well. Everyone that posted like, "Yo, what app is this?" and stuff, I'm just like, next.
Don't worry about it.
Well, fuck you. I learned how to fucking use Stable Diffusion, so I hate you. But
I have Stable Diffusion on my thing. I also have Comfy AI too now on my PC. I don't really mess with that anymore. I saw it get used a few more times. I'm like, all right, it's played out. I did it. So I was using an app called Caber.ai. And I did a lot. I was in Kentucky. This was already when I left paintball that I did those AI clips and those edits. And I was already working for Lancer Tactical, which is the airsoft manufacturer I went to from HK Army. And I was in Kentucky, and I was just doom scrolling in the back of a car while we were driving from Kentucky to Nashville, which is a few-hour drive, or Paducah, Kentucky to Nashville because we're gonna go visit an account and then fly out. So I'm seeing all these AI videos start to pop up, So I start doing the research. So I'm clicking on them. I'm trying to see what they're using and stuff like that. I find a couple, then I find Caber.ai, or I think it was Caber.ai. I check it out. I see it's like pretty easy to use. It's prompt based like most AI stuff. And I could do it all from my phone. That was the crazy part. So I'm just like, and I have a ton of already made vertical clips on my phone from posting Instagram reels. So I'm like, all right, let's kind of fiddle with it. Let's see what works best. I've learned some kind of tactics and stuff. So like the mouse one where he goes Goku, that shot that shot I had to run it actually through the AI. I reversed that clip. Because when the AI kind of would move around a bunker and stuff like he comes around a bunker and like I have the raw footage from my camera of him running, and then I do like some kind of glitchy effect cut.
Some magic.
And then the other clip is literally just on top of it, timed exactly the same. So they would run exactly together, and I'm just putting a glitch effect before the one on the layer above it, and it would just glitch into that. But in order to get that Goku face right, I took that original clip, reversed it, and exported it. So I had his head in frame like the whole time to get the AI to work, and like kind of have it work backwards. And then I would export that AI and then re-reverse it and then do that edit thing. So
makes sense. It was kind of looking for like its target within the first couple frames, and since on the other one you were getting that bunker interference, it was just getting all kind of freaked out.
Yeah, exactly. And I learned that worked best with like a lot of kind of clips and stuff like that. It was running them in reverse. I have this airsoft one where I have my buddy who like jumps over his nickname in airsoft's Joker. So I turned him into the Joker.
Clip, actually.
Yeah, so I turned him into the Joker. Like it glitches into him as a Joker. And then someone walks across the screen, and I did I masked that guy out as the transition into the Joker, or whatever. Like I used the person walking in the foreground, did a mask, I keyframed the mask behind him to do that like reveal into the Joker AI. So yes, it's an app. It's pretty easy to use, but you still had to get kind of creative with it, and it wouldn't always.
You got to give it like the right ingredients. Like you got to set it up for success.
Dude, even then, so I was just burning through tokens, just trying different like prompt words and stuff like that. I bought the year, whatever. I was like, screw it, $100 and something, dude. It's maybe it'll go viral.
That was me with Suna.
And then
I still am playing around with it.
And then I And then I started doing like actual edits with it, like putting it into playing footage. I did a collab one with HK because HK had a new like harness out. For airsoft, and I didn't have like an airsoft belt harness, so I hit up Marky. I'm like, hey, I'll collab this video. I send him the video, and it was all HK Army teams. This is my plan. I said, I'll collab this with you guys if you give me one of your new belts.
Okay, that's a good way to get a new belt for sure.
And he said yes, 100%. So collabed it. They got the content. They were the first paintball manufacturer posting like AI content like that, like cool looking kind of AI content, I guess, you know. I got my airsoft harness that I wanted, and yeah, everyone's happy. And then I did another one. I collabed it with at Paintball. I know the good fine folks over there at the at Paintball Instagram, so they usually collab anything.
Yeah.
Good people, good people over at Paintball.
Yeah.
If you're not following, make sure you're following at Paintball. And at HK Army and at Hostile Airsoft.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same.
No. They're
Quittskii,
they're three separate handles.
Yeah, three separate accounts, 100%, run by separate
accounts.
Individual people. One thing I wanted to give credit to HK for, because you talk about this AI stuff, really, it's always been, you know, and Marky's the face of it, so I guess he'll get credit here, but it's always been the brand's willingness to just say, fuck it, let's try it. You know, if it doesn't work, okay, it doesn't work.
100%.
But I think a lot of HK's success has come from that attitude of like, we're not supposed to be here, so fuck it. If we just, you know, throw something at the wall, it's gonna stick.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get experimental these days, and you know, that's why, you know, we've done a lot of stuff with like outside of paintball people, like the musicians and stuff like that. You've seen like back in the Cassidy days. I think it was, I don't know if it was Cassidy days or the year that Spantastic was. It had to have been Cassidy days. What Aoki and Flocka came out and stuff like that. Like that's just so good it's just so good for paintball, getting eyes on it, like, you know, like that from like a big DJ like Aoki or a big hip hop artist like.
I mean, Marcelo apparently is like having private practice days with Dan Bilzerian right now. He keeps posting that on his freaking account.
That's fucking sick.
I saw that on his stories, and shout out Dan Bilzerian. He's got a lot of HK Army stuff over there, so we appreciate it, Dan.
Yeah, I heard he has his own private field. That's pretty freaking sick,
dude.
He
has his own field, dude. They have a room with like jerseys in it and everything. They have a ton of HK Army paint there right now. Best paint in the game.
Thanks, actually.
I was just at the factory. The Tampa paint looks fire. So if you're not, I don't know when this podcast is dropping, but if it's pre-Tampa, get on the paint list. hkrb.com/NXL paint.
No, I agree, bro. As a guy who shoots HK himself, bro, dude, that shit's money.
And dude, the fill is insane now. It's way brighter, it's way thicker, way harder to wipe. And then, you know, they've just been, last year it took in the series first, second, fourth or something like that. Because Russians were shooting HK Army paint, Impact was shooting HK Army paint, Heat was shooting HK Army paint. So that's, you know,
pretty
3
good
out of the top 4 are pretty good.
Absolutely.
So, you know, if you need paint for the event, get on the paint list. $25
Get on the paint list, people. Get on the paint list.
He paid us to let him say that, so that's why I wasn't going to interject there.
I mean, look at you guys. You guys are doing good, though. Ryan, I see you got the jersey, the I don't know if that's a DMG jersey behind you.
It's
you got
a D-Boy jersey, and then
we got the banner behind
Austin
you.
Oni stuff. Shout out Oni.
Steven, that's a pretty cool jersey right there. I don't know what team that is with the pattern.
Austin Oni right here.
Okay.
That's how far back we go, bro. That's how far back we go. That's how far
this
back we go.
This man's name is Hatch. No one ever calls him Steven. That's his father's name.
No, but close enough.
Oh, was I not supposed to say Steven? Am I gonna call him Hatch?
No, you are all good. It's funny because, dude, that
Don't
rarely
trust the
happens. It rarely happens, and dude.
I mean, I understand people rarely call me David. You know, it's Quitman or Quittskii. So.
Absolutely. Besides the podcast, I ain't ever calling you fucking David, bro.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It feels weird when people. I'll swap it to Hatch.
Yeah, I was like Steven. I was like, all right, nice.
Had a lot of those episodes.
My girlfriend, and my mom called me that, bro. No joke. That's it.
And then Hatch, you got the banner. You got another. It looks like a DMG jersey. That might be
got the brand out right here. Yeah,
that's a
pro
cool
jersey.
Yeah, this guy's super gay.
2022 pro jersey.
This one?
The Jerry?
Yeah.
The Jerry.
The one on the
Brandon's
left.
not a pro, by the way. He hasn't been.
That was not a pro. I thought that was
we were for 16 hours, bro. We were pro for 16 hours. Relax, y'all.
That is a former pro
jersey.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, he's got the Jerry Caro as well.
Yeah, I try to do a swap
collection, actually. Yeah, I was going to say, you've had some more up there.
Yeah, I got a Rainy Stanzak jersey, won that one not too long ago, out of a raffle. So
how have you not put that one up yet? Come on, put the Rainy up.
Damn,
that's how it is. All right, Hatch. Hey, he's a California dude too. All right, there's some connection there.
Hell yeah! I mean, when his time comes, it'll be up.
But it can't block Cali or Pablo. So until then, we're stuck with this.
These two are safe forever. Absolutely,
they're always gonna be on the wall.
Hey, Jerry, you better be going crazy this year, dude. Hey, your time is coming, buddy.
Your spot might be up, Jerry. Just letting you know.
This wall is good. You know what I'm saying?
Is he still with NYX or did he?
No, he went to Ironman.
Ironman. Okay, so SoCal team.
Yeah, they did a pretty they did a pretty sick edit on him.
SoCal.
They were like, he's like, oh, how's it feel to be on the Ironman? He's like, it's good to be home.
Did they get Pat Kraft also?
Yep,
they did. Yeah.
Okay, so they got both those guys from NYX. Okay,
yeah,
that's a solid pickup, dude.
Absolutely, very solid.
And then
pickup.
NYX also played the Yu-Gi-Oh trap card called Psych, and so they're actually coming back into the league. It was a really crazy thing. Tom Cole wasn't expecting it, but it's now in the rules. We can't use reverse cards.
Wait, no, I thought they just bought
back in the league, by the way.
Yeah, they bought ML King's spot, I thought.
Yeah.
They just rebranded the name.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They used their fucking Uno reverse card to be like relegated.
Yeah.
No,
dude, I
just
remember years ago where they were going to charge the team a shit ton of money to change the name.
Yeah,
just to change the name.
$5K rebranding fee.
Yeah, who was that?
Well, I think it was 187 Crew and Revo. I think that's what they were really trying to shoot for. It was that whole thing.
I think
maybe they were going to be Baltimore 187 Crew or something.
I think you got to pay a fee regardless if you come into the pro league for all the branding and marketing stuff. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, all the banners and stuff.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
So even if you win the pro spot, you gotta throw in some cash to.
Yes. Yeah. No.
I think so.
Nothing in life is free, Brandon.
Yeah. Anybody listening, bro? Paintball is the thing that you gotta. When you make it, you have to work even twice as hard and spend twice more money.
I mean, you want a great fact of this? Pro teams pay fucking registration. Like you're never gonna get out of that. It doesn't matter if you're D5 or pro. You're gonna have to. I get the point you're saying, but a pro team organization has to still pay the NXL to come play at their events. They're not invited to. It's not like a golf tournament where it's like, okay, you guys are on the list of people who can come play if you want to.
Yeah, you do make a good point there.
That's not how tennis works. That's not how golf works. That's not how Formula One works. Like, all these other sports, you don't have to pay to show up.
Yeah, but that's because, in other sports and stuff, they're making money off the commercials and the ad.
Well, yeah, you have to buy a franchise spot, which is a lot more expensive.
The thing is with Split Deck, dude, we really did kind of take away that whole advertising thing because the 2 minutes between each point when it was X Ball, bro, you get 2 minutes of commercials and then the last 15 seconds of Matty Marshall, talking.
All right, so new idea
now, right?
During the minute, we give Hatch different costumes of the sponsors, and he runs out as the pod lady, and so he just runs around and grabs pods. But every point is a different sponsor.
I ain't grabbing
shirt.
pods. I'll be like the ring dude. You know what I'm saying? Point two.
I think it's funny if you're grabbing a pod or two, looking like you're getting involved, but you're out there just to sponsor or to advertise for Carbon or something.
Dude, the little
Microports.
the little bib things that they make you wear. I never wore it.
Yeah.
I never wore
You're
one.
so special.
Were pod runners supposed to wear those?
Yeah, they have pod runner ones now, including our ones that we have to wear.
I never wore them once.
I kind of like the bibs though, because now I don't have to wear a shirt. I can just wear my sweatshirt or something.
You look very official when you have it. People know you're supposed to be there. So.
I mean, they knew that with the shirts too. So I'm just glad we have some type of marking system, and it's not just Matt coming up behind you like, "Are you supposed to be here?" Okay, yeah, you got a pass. You're good.
I've back in the MPPL days, I've snuck onto some of the fields of the film before when I was really young. Didn't have a pass.
Don't do that, kids.
Right out there.
That's not good
these
advice.
days it is harder. It's harder these days.
Well, it's harder these days. Plus, you will never shoot an NXL Pro event if you do that again. That's
if you get caught.
It's not a good idea. If that's what you want to do in the future. Now, if you're just saying fuck it and you want to try to get something, okay. It's a pretty good way to get your name on there, I'd say.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, as long as you have a shirt.
I do want to say there's not a confirmed official blacklist for paintball media. I'm at least not aware of that.
You know of.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Sheesh. Damn.
Send your DMs towards Quitman.
No, I don't know it either. It just could be,
Okay. So
deep NXL state,
Okay. So, Quitman, let me tell you. Let me ask you, actually. What is your favorite project that you've done in paintball? Like that, if it was a video, if it was just a single reel, if it was what have you done that is your personal favorite?
There's so many.
It's a big question. It's a big question.
It is a big question.
I mean, there's certain reels that you get that go the ones that you want to go algorithm and have done well. Like one of my favorite clips I ever shot was where the two paintballs are colliding midair at the it was at this Magnolia Series event I went to New Orleans for. But that part of that was luck. It was
Yeah, I have one of those too, and it was nothing I did to make that shot happen.
Yeah,
but it is so cool when you look back. When you look back at Premiere and you're like, wait, that's what that was from. It's actually paint hitting each other.
That's the best thing, is going back through your footage and like seeing things that you didn't see like happen in real, right in front of you. It's pretty crazy how much stuff you
I see some in clips where it's like just a dude sitting there doing literally nothing, but a paintball hit the ground perfectly to where it's like spinning and like squirting out paint, like a spiral. And they're like,
the spiral's always
that's
nice.
It's sick. Even though
1,000 frames a second.
Nothing crazy's happening, but when you really slow it down, it's magic.
Paintball's got some beautiful aspects, dude. That's the beauty. I get the beauty of it.
Yeah, the beauty of the chaos. I will say, all that matters. Miko's movie that comes out, it really does show a lot of the beauty in the chaos, because they did have some pretty nice equipment out there. They worked a lot of the shots with I think it's the Cronus, which is the 1K. I think it's the Firefly Cronus, but it's a high speed camera, so it can slow stuff down a lot faster than my camera can, or any of the other guys who are out there on a regular basis.
Yeah, I worked on that project.
Yeah. Yeah, you worked on that, because you were some of the like SE Village stuff. I think you helped out with, or
ASG. ASG, okay. Field out here. It was like the first. It was like, I don't know. Frazee hit me up and he's like, I gotta have you on this project. This is what I'm trying to do, and he kind of explained it to me. And like me, growing up a huge Dynasty fan, it being Alex Frazee, it's just like, wow, like he wants, it's a guy I idolized when I was a kid. I'm like, wow, he wants me on part on this project.
I felt the same way.
And he's like, let me know how much it's going to cost you to get you on. I said, no joke. I'm like, I don't want anything. I said, give me some Hormesis stuff. I don't want any money. I just want to be a part of it. So I went to ASG for awesome. Like, it was a day. I did the gimbal stuff. I got blasted. I only kind of agreed to it because it was Miko's camera. And I was really nice.
It's not my own gear.
I brought painter, like blue painter's tape, and I covered the camera. Just enough to put on a gimbal, put on a gimbal, not was the weight.
Was it like a Sony mirrorless body?
FX3.
Oh, okay.
What I shoot with now, but no way my camera's ever going to see a paint. I keep saying that it's going to eventually happen. At least
let Marky hear this. Yeah,
you heard it here first, people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to go to Europe later this year, and I'm probably going to be at an NXL Europe event for a little bit of it. So I don't know if I'm going to be on the field, but I'll at least be at the field, and then. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see
either way, that'd be sick.
That sounds sick. One thing real quick. Speaking of NXL Europe, one clips that I've seen that are pretty sick are where it kind of shows the beauty of the chaos, at least to me, is Solus Photography's videos with the Lucky 15s. Because, dude, those guys are always. I think some of those guys are the grittiest paintball players. No joke. Because they're always down, and then they're always like, "Hey, everybody. Clutch the fuck up, mate!" And they always something like that, right? And then they're like, "Don't fucking die!" And then they just go out and just flying V, and they win in the most aggressive way possible. So I love those videos.
Brandon, where are they from in Europe?
The Lucky 15s.
Yeah, so I can give an accurate Europe accent for them, or English, whatever.
They were out here, weren't they, for World Cup?
They not for.
Did
Cup,
they know
so
they weren't. They didn't get
some of their players came out to play, but not like the team itself. Where was that?
I think a lot of their players play in America. I mean, Clint Moore plays for Revo. Then some of the other guys went to Notorious, but obviously that was only for World Cup.
Yeah, and I think the reason was because they won a spot. They could have come over as one of the NXL Europe teams, but I think like the funding wasn't there, so some of the guys individually had opportunities to come play, and they decided to take them.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, flying to a different country to play paintball, dude, that must be so expensive.
Staffordshire.
It is Staffordshire, aye?
Staffordshire.
Bunch of fucking... Yeah,
somethings.
I couldn't finish that sentence. But, country bumpkins. I don't know, whatever. I'm tired as fuck. My accents and impressions are not on point tonight. But... I guess we were kind of getting to it there. We skimmed by it a little bit. Maybe to wrap it up for people who are interested in the full story. You were with HK up until about 2022. You step away to move over to Lancer Tactical.
Lancer, yeah.
What was kind of what was the impetus for that business relationship? Was it, did you know him beforehand, or was it kind of like, I need a job? Or
So I knew of the brand because I had a friend, so go back a little bit. 2017, my buddy Glenn, who owns Paintball Gateway and Gateway Airsoft Gateway.
Nice.
He gave me an airsoft gun and for free. He gave me like a Lance Tactical Pro line. It looked like an MK18 style, like, replica of a gun.
So
put a light
sick.
on it for me. Yeah, he had this company called Murder Mags that he had for a little bit. So he gave me like these Murder Mags, which are super rare now and like kind of sought after. Because they might have infringed on PMAG a little bit, and he might have gotten like a
cease and desist.
He might have. I don't know. They look kind of like PMAGs, and PMAG is kind of goes after people that infringe or whatever.
Well, because it's
so
Magpul.
I had a bunch
It's
of
one of the
those.
biggest accessories companies in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bunch of those thanks to him, and he said just shout. He didn't charge me for it. He said just shout me out on your Instagram. That's it. And so that's when I started playing like. That's why I started playing like I'd go to Tac City, which is like a popular indoor airsoft field out here in Southern California. It's kind of like one of the fields where like the whole like tournament like Speed QB scene like started. And so I started going and playing that because I was like I would go with Oz from Narcos, who's on Oz works at Paintball Gateway in Murrieta, and he kind of dabbled in airsoft a little bit, and it was perfect because I go, Oz, just play my tape. I'm gonna go snake off the break because an indoor. I could run snake off the break. It's like 2 steps and then slide, and then you're in.
It's just on top of concrete, yeah.
Yeah,
but it's like polished concrete where you're like, whoa.
Yeah, you slide. Yeah. This was before they painted their floors recently, so it's not as slidey. They painted their floors red for some reason. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but it also made it kind of hard to. Yeah. So I literally say, Oz, just stay on my tape the whole time and just shoot down my tape and like wrap inside. And I go snake. I go because I just play like I play paintball. Go all the way to their side of the snake, and I pop up in the center, and literally no one knows I'm there. So it's just bat, shoot everyone, run down the last guy, and just repeat every round. And that was like 2017, and then eventually that gun broke on me. I think I was just diving into the snake too much with it. It wasn't really made. I wouldn't say
right
it was
on
made
concrete,
for that.
definitely.
Yeah,
on concrete is probably not fun.
Most people that play front in airsoft for like speedsoft and stuff, they use pistols. Most tournaments these days, they require you on the field when there's 5 on the for 5v5, 2 pistols, 3 rifles. The rifles.
I actually already knew that. Shout out Gavin.
Shout out Gavin Bay. Yeah, Gavin Day.
Oh, Gavin! I saw Gavin last weekend when I was in NorCal. I was just in Sacramento at Sac County Airsoft.
Hey, shout out to the tacos, bro. I'm an honorary member of the tacos, dude. So if I ever switch to airsoft, dude, I'm playing for the tacos.
You should go to Sac County one time, give it a try. It's a lot of fun. That's a really cool facility up there.
I feel like it's only fair that you guys have brought Gavin over, that you guys at least one day have to go out there and play with the tacos.
For like a double day weekend, we go on Saturday.
I'm down.
We gotta set that up with Gavin. That'd be a fun one.
Okay. There you go. Yeah,
Quittskii, what do we gotta do to have you on our team up there as well, dude? Come on.
I'm probably gonna come back up there for the CSL championship. I don't know how close you guys are to Sacramento. Ryan, I'm pretty sure you're out of state now, right?
I'm in Texas, bro. I'm not close at all.
He'll drive.
I mean,
he'll drive.
Yeah, 24 hours. I got it. I was technically just in the Bay Area the last couple days. I flew in this morning, but we'll talk about that later. That's no big deal.
It's for the after show. Ryan's adventures to the Bay Area.
No, we were just going to talk about it later on in the show because I teased people with it last week.
So yeah, where were we going with this?
The championship.
I'm sorry, I am the tangent king, and I'm a yapper. So I apologize.
Oh, dude, you have no idea who you're talking to, brother.
You haven't been hatched yet.
Oh, here we go, baby. Let's go. Let's get
we
into
could probably have a
Tangent
good
man,
yap
me
off.
in a
There we
duel.
go.
Who cannot finish a conversation
Bro,
first?
dude, I yap more than my girlfriend, bro. That's how you know it's bad.
Damn, bro.
So yeah, where am I going back to? Yeah,
the
so
CSL stuff, the championship, you come back up for that?
Yeah, I'll come back up. We'll get back to that later, I guess, when we get there in the timeline. So Lancer Tactical, I had that gun. It broke on me, so I kind of stopped going to Tac City because I didn't really know where to get the gun fixed, how to fix it. Airsoft guns are so different than paintball guns.
For sure, Gavin tells us
especially
all
at least the
stories.
electronic one. The HPA builds that kind of look like the ones that look like paintball guns, where the tank is just like a paintball gun. You know,
it's the form factor of a marker.
Those are a little bit easier, I think, to work on than an AEG, the battery powered ones. So I had that with Airsoft, and I knew of Lancer Tactical, and so when I was gone from HK, I was kind of like just chilling for a bit. I was playing golf every morning with my buddy Alan, before he had to go to work.
Just enjoying retired life.
Yeah, it was really nice. Life after paintball media, you know.
Dude,
That's
great.
nice, bro.
I took my first steps into it this last week.
So yeah, we were playing golf every morning and stuff like that. And then Glenn like called me up one day because he would always check on me. And he was like, "Hey, like I heard you're not at HKR anymore." He's like, "How you doing?" And when we talked a little bit, he's like, Lancer Tactical is looking for a marketing person. And I was like, like. And the person,
well, I do marketing,
and he says Andy Yoshida is the sales manager over here. And I knew Andy because before I started full time at HK, I used to do some like video. Marky had a Red camera, and I used to kind of do some we did some like production stuff for some companies. It was like me, Marky, and this other dude James. And one of the things that we did was for Tipman Airsoft, and it was at this event at an abandoned air yard in the north. I forgot where it is. Like it's up north. It's like it's a big decommissioned airfield with all these old big ass planes, like commercial jets, all decommissioned on it.
That sounds sick.
And it's called like the Tactical Challenge. I think Operation Lion Claw throws it. That's the event producer, which is like an event producer out here.
God damn, that sounds so badass.
Yeah,
Operation Lion Claw.
So yeah. So they have so there was like teams, and a lot of teams were sponsored by different companies. Like there's an EVIC team, which EVIC is like the big ANS gear kind of like of the airsoft world.
I have heard of them.
Actually, they're even bigger than ANS gear because they own multiple fields, multiple retail outlets. It's airsoft. It's like some hunting stuff, fishing stuff. Like they sell our hostile airsoft product and some of our HK product there. Like massive retail, online retail.
Are they international as well? Because I do know airsoft seemingly is a more international sport. Like I know a lot more people in Europe play.
Yeah, in certain markets, Europe's really big, Japan's really big. The Philippines is like the wildest airsoft I've ever seen, dude. They shoot like 700-800 FPS.
That's
like,
crazy.
You don't go out till the refs like pull you out and stuff.
I gotta stop you real quick. Because the two states or the two places you just mentioned, Europe and Japan, notorious for having very strict firearms laws. So it's kind of cool that the citizens are kind of like, well, this is a way we can feel like we're involved in that.
And that's what makes it so popular out there. Japan is kind of wild because it's a 1 joule limit. So they don't really, outside of the U.S., they don't really do FPS. They do joules, which is like the energy that the DP is traveling at and stuff. Because
I was like, they measure with different.
What's up?
Oh my god!
I thought they're joule.
No, it's a measurement of energy, Hatch. God damn it, Clovis failed you, bro.
So that's like kind of the metric for determining that. So Japan is under 1 joule. So that is under 300 FPS. Outdoor airsoft here in the States for just a normal like assault class, like you're running an M4, not a sniper or
assault
DMR or anything,
class. That sounded sick.
Well, I don't know how better way to. I'm trying to put it in like almost like Call of Duty terms.
Yeah,
not using a sniper rifle because you're allowed to have
no quick scoping. No full auto in the buildings.
360 no scopes.
No burning patches.
Well, all that kind of stuff. I have knowledge on all that kind of stuff now. What do you call it? So like a sniper, they let them shoot 500 FPS, but there's a thing called an MED, minimum engagement distance. That means you can't shoot anyone closer than it's whatever the field sets it at. So normally with a sniper rifle, you can't shoot anyone closer than 100 feet if you're shooting a sniper rifle. So that's why you would have a sidearm on you. A pistol that shoots, they usually shoot like at 280 to 350 FPS. Is like your standard pistol FPS.
Pistols
range.
only indoors.
DMR is kind of up there with the sniper and stuff like that. That class has its own kind of restrictions and stuff like that. Then if you're using like an M4
but can
and
I
AK,
run a sub inside?
They're 400 FPS or 350 to 400. Sorry, what was that?
Can I run a sub inside? Like, can we get MP5s on and just go full on?
So that's the cool thing. So some places will if you have an MP5, they'll let you run it full auto. Most MP5s shoot around under 350, I think, 350.
Okay.
So standard outdoor field though, 400 FPS or lower. And then indoor fields are usually 350 FPS and lower. But then Japan, where we is 300 FPS and lower at the 1 joule.
1 joule.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
well,
the crazy thing about Japan is
the ancestral traits down, because if people start getting injured, there's going to be some samurais that pop up. It's going to get real bad over there. They're going to remember the whole time that China kind of fucked them up. It's
what's crazy is Japan actually has a very large airsoft population that's female. Or there's a lot of females that play airsoft.
Guys, we're moving to fucking Japan. We're going to Japan.
So you're saying it's a target-rich environment.
Very much so, Brandon.
Yeah, it's more co-ed out there than because out here it's still very male. It's like paintball, dude. It's very male dominated. It's paintball with the WNXL now, and has seen a big introduction to women at the competitive level and stuff. And then, of course, in our world, in the Speedsoft world, there are some women that do play Speedsoft. There's actually one that was at the... There's actually 3 at the event I was just in Sacramento. 2 of them played for this team called DVS. One played for this team called SRG that was from... that came out from Idaho. The SRG is one of our teams.
You know it's still a small amount when there's shock in your voice when it's like, yeah, there's 3. And it's like, okay,
I mean,
that's still obviously
for airsoft, it's a lot. For out here in the States and competitive.
No, but and I'm just, because it goes to, point that kind of demographic bias. And look, I mean, credit to Tom, we kind of gave him, a lot of people gave him flack for the WNXL initiative stuff, but I mean, I think it's only done a lot to grow an aspect of paintball that was there before. You had the Femme Fatales, you had some of these all-girl teams before, but
now there's
them an actual division for it.
Yeah,
which is great to see. Some of those girls can ball, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So.
It finally brought a winner into my family, Oh, jeez.
Well,
thanks, babe.
No, your dad won a lot. You just didn't win anything, Brandon.
No.
Whoa. I won an event with Brando. I carried his ass.
Well, right. not a pro event. We can't say that.
No, you're
yet.
right. Carried is a strong word.
Yeah.
Does Mike ever pull his trophies out in front of you, just kind of flexing them? Just be like,
do you hear him running down the hall with his medals clinking on his chest?
Yeah. No, he holds that over my head. Thanks, Dad. Yeah,
nice.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Papa Iron Man,
Quitskii,
dude.
just to catch you up, Brandon's
dad
was
I don't know whose dad is. I feel like
he was an original member of the Ironman.
Okay.
So, yeah,
like
they won a lot in the early 90s.
Hey, give him a quick run through, Brando. Educate him.
Before the Bob Long split of the Ironman?
Yeah,
like
he helped usher Bob onto the team. Yeah.
Nice. And then was he around for the split? And which camp did he go to?
No, he wasn't on the
Bob,
team.
Wouldn't he?
He would have.
He left in 96 was his last year? 95?
Yeah, 95 was his last year with the Ironman. 96 he retired and stuff. But
nice. That's awesome, dude.
He left right before then. So
that's awesome.
You're talking to royalty on here.
So is he disappointed you never made it to the pro league?
Whoa!
Hell yeah, he is.
Ow.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Brandon also, his dad took paintball away. He was he got out of it. And he was done. He was out of it.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm the honorary
his
son.
hopes are still up. Our hopes are still up.
Okay.
Yep.
We got still a chance. They might rename semi-pro in a few years again.
Exactly. We win a spot, he gets 2 sons almost or something like that.
Am I mean? I'm so sorry.
That was just a little savage, Yeah, you'll never get to the pro division, but maybe they'll change semi-pro's name again. Damn.
Elite Pro did?
But yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, and it's kind of ironic because there's events that are happening to this day on the legal side of things that Mike is still holding a grudge about from those days in 1995. And I can't say anything more right now. I'm sorry, podcast audience, but it is hilarious.
One day
it will come out.
My favorite thing. It will come out. We will make sure it comes out.
Will this podcast break that news?
It's already been broken, but we can break more news about it.
Is Will Ball for Steve going to beat you to the punch?
If he beats me to the punch on this one, I will put my 12 gauge in my mouth because there's no way.
No, Ryan, no.
There's no way, man. There's no way. I swear, if he scoops this scoop,
we are right there. We got our ears to the door.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we're good.
Hey, I'm at the point to where the people who have the ears to the door will tell me second.
Exactly. I'm, now Hatch, you're on the outside of not having the information. See, it doesn't feel so good when you sign an NDA and then don't tell your best friends about things.
You know what I'm saying? Fun. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm never going to forgive you about that. You didn't even tell me you signed the NDA. You could have at least done that. You can mention signing them. You just don't have to talk about what, happened after that.
You know what? We will. One day. What is it like?
You'll tell me, hey, Ryan,
what is it like?
I did sign that NDA.
Behind the paywall.
Yeah. The contract definitely does not go behind the paywall, right?
Yeah, that's not how law works at all. All right, guys. Scott, let's try to get it a little bit.
We've tangented more and more.
We just keep doing
you're good,
so.
bro. You're good.
But we're getting there because now you're at Lancer. You're working with them. You were talking with some of their guys to kind of get involved with that. What caused, obviously you're working with them. Was it rumors from HK that kind of brought you back? Or maybe you starting to kind of talk to them? How did the relationship form again?
So can I give a little bit more mid story, I guess?
Yeah, that's fine. It's for the story. We need it. Yeah.
So Lancer doesn't really. their demographic is like the recreational airsofter, maybe a little bit more Milson, the people that want guns that look like the real thing, or like what you use in COD or Battlefield, yada yada. They didn't really do anything on the competitive side. They sponsored a Speed QB event one time, like years before I got there. So I wanted to I needed something to fill like that competitive kind of that was missing from paintball. Because at Lancer, I was honestly just doing I was the face of the company, so I was on all the videos, and I'm talking about I had to learn airsoft like super quick and all the lingo and all that kind of stuff, and it took me a little bit. And I always like being behind the camera, never really in front, even with that experience being as a young kid doing the acting and stuff. That's really
how I know I like being behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Same. That's what I say. That never really carried with me. I like being behind the camera. I like doing my thing from that side. But at Lancer, I had to be in front of the camera, so I was doing on-camera videos, like announcing like new products and doing overviews and going through like when we announced like a new gun or new product and stuff like that. So I mean, I would go to some events mostly fields that we worked with, like anniversary events, and then that's when I would run around my gimbal and kind of like do that kind of thing. But I was like, I want to kind of do this on competitive, and the Speed QB Speed QB is a brand. It's kind of like Kleenex. You know, a Kleenex is a tissue is a Kleenex, but everyone calls it.
I see.
You know, it's like that. So
Speed that's QB, another good one.
Yeah, so Speed QB is one. It falls into that category. It's a name for like the format, the 5v5 competitive center flag format, indoor on like their kind of style of bunkers, which is not air bunkers. They have like their own kind of bunker kit that they go
like
for.
Wood, right, or something like that.
Yeah, they're wood. They're kind of covered in black like felt or carpet and stuff. And I love that because I'm not a big fan of airsoft on air bunkers. Let that be for paintball. Let this be for airsoft. Let there be that distinction. There's already so much crossover where Speed Soft is kind of trying to be paintball, tournament paintball and stuff. I like the separation.
I mean, don't get it twisted. It is trying to be us. I wonder where, like,
you guys
a lot of the similarities were already in our sport first.
Yeah, and you have like the tournament paintball has been evolving for decades. Like Speed Soft, Speed QB is more generally on the newer side in its infancy phase.
And
of, like,
to its credit, Gavin. You just go back and watch that episode if you're a listener out there and you're not familiar. Gavin explains there are so many differences already in how the two formats are played, the strategies that are used in both.
The rules. Well, he was probably talking NSL. I don't really do a lot with that league. There's a ton of rules in that league. It's kind of more like football, I guess, where one team starts with the flag and you kind of got to advance it down the field. You get points for zones. That's not my per se cup of tea. I'm more into like the Speed QB center flag format. I think that and CSL is also competitive. CSL is another league. That's what I was just filming up in Sacramento. That's competitive Speed Soft League. My boy Keegan runs that. Shout out Keegan. I had a fun time last weekend. It was a great event. What do you call it? But that's center flag, so it's forcing action. You have both teams that are going for the flag, so that's
it's a little more akin to the old school
paintball center flag kind of stuff. At the X-Ball
days, focal point.
It gives there's the focal point and stuff like that. It gives something both teams to battle for, so it becomes a race, and then it's up to what's going to happen when you get there and stuff. How's your team going to cover you? How are you going to close out the games and stuff like that? So that's like more what I gravitate towards. And Speed QB is pretty big here in Southern California. Most I would say more so than other regions in the U.S. Like NSL is really popular in the Northeast and in Sacramento right now. Those are the two fields that play the big NSL tournaments. And then Speed QB does a lot of stuff at Tac City, which is one of my two what I consider my local fields. Whenever I go out around here to play or film, it's Tac City or Project N1. I love both those fields. So I started going. I started going to Tac City when there was a Speed QB event. I hit up the owner of Speed QB. I'm like, hey, I work for Lancer, but I want to come film your event. I used to work for at HK Army and stuff, and he kind of knew who I was and stuff like that. And a lot of those guys that play Speedsoft do take interest in paintball and the scene. So a lot of those people kind of already knew who I was from working at HK Army, and were pretty stoked that I was kind of coming into their world with my with my talents that I do in paintball and stuff like that. So I filmed like one tournament, started making some edits, and before I even I think I released one on my personal, and then even after that, I was hanging out a lot with FTS Paul. I still do. Me and him go shoot guns.
I fucking love that guy, bro.
Yeah, same.
That guy's awesome.
I've known him well over a decade, probably longer. Maybe almost 2 decades now. I've known Paul.
Damn.
And we go shooting every weekend and stuff. owner operator violence and stuff, you know. And so I was like, hey man, like you want to maybe try a company? And so we went through a bunch of names and stuff that we were trying to do. We ended up on Bloodthirsty as our name. It's very kind of in the genre of other companies that are in airsoft. There's a very popular company called Slaughter. There's what?
That's a 5 kill streak in COD, bro. Bloodthirsty.
Yeah, there's that kind of tie to it. You know, it's got its gamer kind of what it's known in the gaming world for it. You know, like you're going after kills, you're getting in there and stuff like that. You're W keying. You know, you're thirsty to just kill people. And then it's very similar to like other brands that were in airsoft. There's one called Slaughter. There's one called like Malevolent. There's all those kind of like words like that and stuff like that. There's one called
Murder
Kill
Squad.
House. There's
Murder
Kill
Gang.
Murder. Yeah,
What you just said was like
Murder Inc. is a team. Yeah.
Oh, Murder Inc. Okay, yeah,
Murder
Inc.
is a team. Yeah. I'm actually close with a lot of those guys. That's
all funny.
They're really good at Speedsoft.
It does remind me of old beginner paintball names. Like back in the day, everything was super aggressive, but it was, the Oakland Assassins. And
the one day when I own an airsoft team, I'm gonna name them something weird, like the Golden Gate Goblins or
Pink
something
Pony
like
Club,
that,
bro. There you go.
Oh man, you can go against my Sea Bright Bandits.
The Sea Bright Bandits. Is that your team?
It's gonna. We'll see what happens. So we're moving. HKR office is moving again to a bigger warehouse in Long Beach.
Just upgraded.
We'll be in there in like a month or two or something like that. It's just getting retrofitted and stuff.
Good shit.
There is talks. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this. We might actually like live stream everything in the office. That might be a new thing.
That
so I don't know
Are
if
you
I
guys
so
gonna become
sick.
Fish Tank?
It's gonna be It might be. We might do something like that.
Hey, if you ever need a contestant, bro, I'll be there.
So we'll see.
be
I don't even know.
Do you
how
know
I'm
what Fish
supposed
Tank
to
is,
say that.
Quittskii?
What? I've heard of it. I think Kenny's told me about it.
Okay, yeah, we've talked about Fish Tank. We've had one of the guys from the show on, and we were talking to another guy from the show, and then he was like, "Yo, fuck you, pay me," and I was like, "No, dog, we're not gonna pay you for a podcast." But yeah, no, we talked about it on the pod. It's a good time, but that would be very interesting.
Yeah,
if it's
so we
just
might do
live
something like
cams
that.
inside the
I'm
office.
just the amount of pranks that are gonna go up. I'm kind of scared.
It will become a hostile workplace very very quickly. If anything, well, I mean, yeah, there you go. But if anything,
with the
if
territory.
I've learned from YouTube companies from the time of like 2010 to 2017, almost all of those failed because employees were just like, yeah, it's a waking nightmare to just be pranked constantly.
No, I don't know, dude. Jackass did succeed. All the guys from Jackass.
You realize they don't do that every day of their lives as like their working job. That's when it becomes a lot.
Well, I would say they used to, but not
we'll
anymore.
see.
No, Hatch, it's different.
Hopefully donations go to the employees.
Oh, hell yeah.
Can we get some TTS,
live
please?
TTS, live TTS and all of it. Yeah, we've been talking about it. Who knows?
Can I do sound effects in your office all day as you're locked in on a video? Just fucking mariachi
Goblin
music.
Muncher 69, thank you so much for the super chat.
But yeah, we gotta throw in the one where the girl is yelling about getting kidnapped. That one's always fun.
Oh.
It's like, where are you going? Where? And it's a 3-minute long sound effect that plays on Fish Tank at times. It's a whole thing.
So the street we're moving to is we're gonna be on Seabright. So I'm like, all right, I'm starting a team, Seabright Bandits. I'm like, I'll make the jerseys.
That's
like
sick.
that one. Funny team names are better than
I don't think I'm gonna
compete.
I'm probably not going to compete. I have no desire to compete in airsoft. I would rather be filming it than competing. I feel like there's way more. I get more value out of myself and stuff like that out of filming a tournament than competing in a tournament. And it's kind of the same with paintball and stuff too. I knew my competing days were like long gone. So I'll play for fun. I'll play public
Street
games
ball
and stuff like that. Yeah,
bigger stuff. Yeah,
but that's about it.
I am gonna get us back on topic, Quittskiis, because we gotta finish your interview. We got things we gotta talk about tonight. But we're at Bloodthirsty. We're working with Paul.
Yeah,
we started working with
Paul.
Again, or?
So that company kind of directly competed with HK. We developed our own. We developed pants. We were making jerseys. We were getting teams. We were doing custom team jerseys. We're doing everything like I used to kind of like HK Army would do. I was doing like Violence does. We're doing it in the airsoft world. And dude, I blew up. That company blew up in like the Speedsoft world. It was crazy. I got the TikTok to like 46,000 followers, like super fast. or within a year. In a year span, I grew. It's hard to grow on Instagram these days. I got the Instagram kind of popping. We're getting insane views for our follow count. Everyone's sharing our stuff. I have people hitting me, people hit me up to come to the outer events and all that kind of stuff. Eventually, we didn't make merch right away. I wanted to build the community first before we made merch and stuff. I was traveling to Texas twice. I went to Indiana for an event and all the local stuff. And in that 1 year I did Bloodthirsty, I made 109 edits that I released.
Jesus.
In a year. Yeah.
Reels or like actual?
Paul and I had a rule. Paul and I had a rule: no single clips. Everything had to be an edit. So that's 109 edits.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everything was edited to the beat. We had a style with the music and stuff like that.
Because think about that. Okay. That's essentially one in almost every 3 days. You're coming out with a brand new, fresh, thing.
Yeah. Sometimes it'd be back-to-back days and stuff like that. Like I was.
Yeah, of course, because it averages out. But
if you're on that grinder day and you're just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You can really just bust them out.
So I would be going to work all day at Lancer. I get out I started Lancer at 7 a.m. I got out at 3:30. I would go home and then I'd edit Bloodthirsty stuff. And then that was like, my life for like a year. And then, dude, I was traveling. I would leave Lancer on Friday, go to LAX, get on a plane, go to an event, get home Sunday night, be back in the office Monday morning,
I never left. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it was always kind of great. I don't know. I don't know if that violated my non-compete or not. I don't care. Like,
it's over now.
It's over and done with now.
Also, non-competes are incredibly flimsy to hold up.
Yeah. So, but all the stuff I was selling, people were buying it for the Bloodthirsty brand name. It wasn't because it was a product that Lancer made and they were buying it because ours was better. So they were buying it for the brand.
They like the brand.
Me and Paul created.
It's a sick brand overall.
It looks cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
The jersey.
Yeah, thank you. It's all Paul now. I sold all my shares to Paul. I got a little baby buyout, but that's just how it worked out. Because
you sold Facebook.
Yeah, right.
How much did you dilute my shares? I just want that moment, Quittskii. Did you have that moment with Paul? No. Okay.
No.
Damn it.
I probably broke even with all the money I spent on travel and stuff like that. I maybe made a little bit of money. Not what I would have wanted for the amount of time and work and shit I put into it and stuff like that, But It is what it is. But because of Bloodthirsty, I was directly competing against HK. Like, and we were taking over. There's still a ton of people rocking Bloodthirsty stuff, the jerseys, pants, all, barrel condoms, what have you. My boss at Lancer that I really liked, Andy, he left and went to a competitor. And then so I wasn't really trying to stay there much longer. He was kind of like my rock there. That dude looked out for me. Lancer is a I gotta be careful. I just gotta be careful what I say. I just didn't like. It was just. It was boring. It was depressing.
It's more a large corporation.
90% of the people did not speak English either. It's hard for me to even talk to anyone. This is an airsoft company based in LA, but the owners are all Chinese and stuff like that because that's most airsoft guns are made in China. I mean that's just how it is. They're made in China or Taiwan.
I love your racism, Hatch. Wrong racism, but
you
were close. I like it. I appreciate it.
I rub airsoft.
Oh my god.
I like it. So you're directly competing with HK, and that's a good way to get on their radar.
Yeah, pretty much. And I've heard, I heard after the fact, like when I started working there again, that the name Bloodthirsty did pop up a bunch of times in the office. So. But I know what I'm doing. Like, and I grind and I work hard, dude. Like I was trying to blow Bloodthirsty up like crazy. I was trying to,
It's on that grind.
Do whatever I could. That's why I was working every weekend and every weekday on it and making content and stuff like that. But so after Andy left, some other drama, I guess, went down at Lancer, and Jason Panetta, who's one of the co-owners, president of HK Army, he hit me up and he said, I heard a bomb went off at Lancer, and I said, only a nuke, and I just sent it, and he said, let me know when you're ready to come back to the dark side, and I was just like, I was very unhappy at Lancer. Very unhappy. Waking up depressed in the morning.
No way.
Like, waking up going, fuck! Because I had to go up and drive all the way to Santa Fe Springs and go to work. It was terrible. I was really not enjoying it, you know? So and also my raise at Lancer told me no raise in my foreseeable future, even though I kept doing more work, and I thought I was doing wonders for that brand, because they've had terrible marketing people before me. Awful. People that burned bridges, made them look super bad. People that weren't QCing guns and sending it out to content creators who were getting guns that were ending up broken and stuff. Like dumbass stuff that I would never let happen. To my day, out of all the guns I sent out to content creators to make stuff on, not one of them broke. And that's because I QC'd every single thing I sent out.
Yeah,
like, I was meticulous.
That's just good business sense. Linus Tech Tips talked about that. Like, come on, people. If you're going to send a review product out, make sure it's a working review product. Like, at least open the box first.
How to get a bad review 101. Send them something fucked up.
Exactly.
100%. Because at the end of the day, all airsoft guns are toys. There's going to be a defect, a factory malfunction here.
I mean, for lack of a better term, a lot of them are polymer parts, and those just do break. It's polymer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not steel.
Although I will say the nylon polymer Lancer used was pretty strong. People were doing stress tests where they were dragging it from back of cars and throwing it off ladders, burying it for a week, and it survived. And
Glock showed the proof that nylon polymer is a good best material. But the point still stands. It will crack and it will break, and manufacturing tolerances for it are harder to to keep in track.
Yeah, so I kept talking to Jason after he sent me that text. I told Paul about it. I was like, hey man, I'm considering possibly going back to HK Army. I don't know what's going to happen with Bloodthirsty. And then, I just progressed from there. I went into HK Army with a 36 slide PowerPoint on what I'm going to do for the Hostile Airsoft division. Because before me, they came out with some really cool stuff for Hostile Airsoft. But it's just Danny Lincoln over there. And that dude has already his whole time filled up with doing paintball stuff.
He's wearing a lot of hats.
Also do airsoft stuff, dude. That's so much
Well, as you were mentioning earlier, it's a different world. And Danny just doesn't have the background in it.
He's busy running on the beach with Fedorov.
Stop. So, look, Danny could, even with zero airsoft knowledge, he could probably make a fucking killer promo video. In the paintball industry world, no one makes better promotional videos than Danny Lincoln. Product videos, no one. No one's even close. His are, I would honestly say, are on par with Cassidy. You know, I think he's up for all the After Effects he does,
and Marky in different masks that are color shifting out and dope shit.
He's doing great stuff. You know, that's taking him time on After Effects. Like he's putting in the time learning.
He's making all the music for it too.
Dude,
I'm gonna put that on my story tomorrow, bro.
So I'm sure if he had to do an airsoft thing, they would be fine and stuff, but
he'd kill it for sure.
But why put so much work on that guy?
I want to clarify, that wasn't a down statement on Danny. It was just saying it's easier for someone like yourself who has had ready experience in the industry to come in.
There's still things you gotta know, like, because you hold an airsoft gun different than you hold a paintball gun. Holding an airsoft gun is more like when you would hold a real rifle, a real AR and stuff like that. There's certain ways you hold it and stuff. In their first promo video, they had them guys kind of holding it by the magwell, which is, I guess, would be a paintball kind of thing. That's not how you're supposed to hold an airsoft gun.
You want it further down the barrel so you control that rifle. Come on, kids.
Exactly. So, there's small things like that, but their launch video for the airsoft stuff was so cool. Like, they did a great job. They rented a cool set, and then they got the content looked all pretty cool. So it was a really good launch. But after the launch, they didn't really have anyone to guide it or see it through or knew kind of like the ins and outs. And even though I was only at Lancer for like 2.5 years, with all the travel events, people I met, and stuff I learned, it's like I kind of know, especially in the competitive side with Bloodthirsty, I know like what people want and stuff like that, and I know how to market to it and all that kind of stuff. So, bringing me on, and then my title coming in now is VP of Operations for Hostile Airsoft. So I'm more than just marketing and video. I'm helping with product. I'm helping with R&D. I'm helping with product design and ideas. I'm also now doing team coordination stuff after Chad decided to leave us. So all the new teams that come through for Airsoft, I am taking care of them and stuff like that. So if you're an airsoft team and you want to get sponsored, head on over to the website hkrv.com/sponsorships, and if you're airsoft, you'll probably get sent over to my email, and I'll be sending you a nice email out. So
Hell yeah.
There's this other promotion.
Yeah,
there we go.
I'll just do plugs all night. I got my own, I got my own sponsors I got to plug. Did we talk about Tampa Paint yet?
Yeah, we have. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, my bad. I totally forgot that I already mentioned that you can get on the paint list for Tampa Bay NXL. It's coming up pretty soon.
Shut the fuck up.
HKRB.com/NXL Paint.
Buy HK.
By HK.
It's a wild story, man, because like you said, you've been in this game for, it's so much of your life, but, kind of transitioning that, experience into one of the few sports where it is a very, applicable, kind of set of skills that you could take into it. It's really cool to see. I know I'm personally happy just to see you back at HK. Quittskii, he should be involved at least with the sport of paintball in some small way.
I get to see him more, bro.
The fact that there's at least wearing a hostile branded merch again, that makes me feel a little better. But yeah, man. So, dude, it's been a wild road for you. We're happy to see you back. At least wearing the HK gear, and yeah, it sounds like some pretty exciting things coming from HK Airsoft just in general. From that side of the sport or that side of the brand. It sounds like you guys are trying to push and expand and kind of get some cool things going there.
Yeah, I can't really say too much because NDA contract and stuff. But we have a lot of cool things in the work. I'm so excited for this year. And then they told me earlier this week we're gonna go. Me and Marky are gonna go out to Europe to FCC. FCC is Fast Close Combat. It's this one-on-one league that's ran by this dude Theo. He does the production he does on it. This guy is dumping so much of his own money into this thing, and he's paying players out. It's literally the only league where players are making money right now, and he kind of does it UFC almost. It's title matches and stuff like that.
Sick.
They got the FCC
It's a one-on-one style. I've seen some of the footage from it.
It's pretty cool. There's also a video game on Steam. They have their own Steam video game. So me and Paul used to 1v1 on FCC, and Paul would always camp in the corner, and I'm sweeping the field, and then he just shoots me in behind.
I'm gonna rebuttal this a little bit because we got our own video game as well. Shout out Infinite Paintball. Ethan's been working his ass off on that.
Which one? I'm sorry.
We got
You're right, we do have
Paintball.
one.
Shout out to our boy 52 Studios.
Digital Paintball
DPB.
2.1
DPB.
HK Army server. Oh.
Are you still playing DPB, bro?
I still own a server. It might go down. I haven't paid for it in a while.
Dude, that Half-Life mod came out fucking 23 years ago at this point.
Before Hatch was born.
Before I was born.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I brought back DPB lately, but no one in the Discord. I tried to organize tonight. We got a couple good nights in.
The problem is now we have Infinite.
New World takes up too much time, dude, on the video game side.
The problem is I don't ever want to go play DPB again because I have Infinite, and it's it's an actual modern day game engine, and it actually is a somewhat real experience of the game.
I don't know.
Not a Half-Life 2 Gary mod.
It gets updated so often.
That DPB is for the nostalgia, The last mapper in DPB is my brother, and he said he'll never map again, so there'll be never new maps and stuff. But Jeff, thank you. I appreciate all the maps you made for the server. Thank you.
It's a task to go back and use some of those old mod tools from back in the day.
Yeah, well, he uses Valve Hammer to make the maps.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what that kit
interesting.
is.
That's completely out of my realm.
Well, boys, let's
old Half-Life maps.
Let's move forward a little bit. Let's jump into some other topics here. We've been talking with Quittskii for quite a bit here. He has a really bad habit of just not letting anyone else on the podcast talk. So Brandon, you haven't said anything for the past hour and a half. So what's going on, buddy? How was your week? Maybe just any topic from you. I just want to get you involved with the show because you've literally been sitting there for an hour and a half.
No, it's just been Jamie. Jamie. Yeah. Look at the chat.
Look at all those links.
Look at all those links.
I'm looking at him. Here's the thing: our podcast audience doesn't see the chat, Brando.
Yeah. So, no. Another thing, something that I put on was fucking video games. Borderlands 4, dude. Ryan, I know you're excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Was there new news that came out? I was out of the loop.
That's right. You were traveling. They dropped the teaser trailer, gameplay trailer for it.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Yesterday. And dude, it looks so good. Oh my!
Is there a lot of wubs?
Is that a post-show watch?
That's the Borderlands.
No, not many wub wubs. Not like Borderlands 2 wub wubs. But God, the graphics are just so good. Here, let me get it for you really quick.
I'm looking forward to Borderlands 4. Obviously,
Me
I think
too,
there's a couple cool games coming out this year that will be fun to play for like a week and a half, and then not forget about for the rest of my life. I just get so ADHD on video games. It's like they consume my life for as long as I'm into them, and then I'll just never touch them ever again.
Yeah, just drop off on the
What's up, Quittskii? You getting Borderlands 4? You trying to jump on the squad?
No, I'm really weird with video games, man. Like, I have certain ones I like, and then I don't really. Weren't you guys like big in the Helldivers too?
Well, yeah, we were a little big.
That died.
Yeah.
That pretty much all died out, right?
Honestly, not really. It definitely took a thing up because they have like weekly events. That's like
they had a really big expansion a couple months ago. It still has a really big active Steam player base. Do I still play it? No, but I know like Hatch and the Discord was playing it. Not all that long ago.
I'll definitely play it when the boys are hopping on and it's like nobody wants to grind Valorant because it's too sweaty. And we're like, all right, time to go kill some bugs. You know what I'm saying?
Did you guys switch over to Rivals?
Honestly, no, dude.
I'll tell you this. I downloaded Rivals. I played 3 games, and on my third one, I was just like, I rage quit. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, nope. I went and uninstalled. I have not touched it since. I was never an Overwatch fan, and I was just like, you know what?
I like Overwatch.
See, I kind of liked, but I played Reinhardt only 95%.
Yeah,
of the time.
my problem is it's too fucking sweaty. In my third game, I'm just getting shit on, and it's just like, you know what? This is fine. You guys obviously are great and enjoy this. Have fun. I'm not going to be here anymore.
I think that's for sure comes with the territory of the game. It's supposed to be like a competitive Overwatch kind of game, Oh,
yeah. I'm not even saying it's that. I've just never, there's obviously people who came from Overwatch, and they're just already ready to go in this type of game mode. I don't want to spend a year and a half just to catch up to them.
For sure. I mean, you could probably think Valorant was the same way. Like when that first came out, people from CS:GO were going over there, right?
It's completely different, Hatch. It's completely different.
I'm just saying.
The only similarity is that your gun doesn't move as much, or that your gun doesn't move when you're standing
still. I
still.
can still point and click someone's head in Valorant. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can actually do it easier in Valorant because you have less movement penalties in that game. Really? Try to run and hit a one tap down long on Dust 2. You're not gonna do it.
Bro, I feel like the running and gunning is way better in CS than it is Valorant.
No.
Really?
You're supposed to run.
Dude, I never get a single fucking running and gunning kill in Valorant unless it's like point blank with like a fucking sub.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, you're wrong. Objectively, even I've heard pros talk on it, and again, that's just those small differences with Val and CS, where it's very similar games, but some of the mechanics just make it two completely different things.
Okay, gotcha. I play CS every once in a while, but I'm just fucking ass at that, honestly. Some of that's just like
I'm not good
either. It's probably
either.
because you played Val first, and so now it's just like that's the one that you're kind of you like and gravitate towards.
CS is so hard, dude. I grew up playing Counter-Strike for one point. I was playing Counter-Strike before it was on Steam when I had this
when it was just a mod,
yeah. And dude, I'm so bad at that game. That's why I don't play really FPSs anymore. Paul and I were doing some a little bit of competitive in Counter-Strike, and I don't know. I'd be hit or miss. One night I'd be on, next night, the next few nights I'd just be terrible, bottom fragging. I always say you're not strong enough to carry me, So.
I just genuinely miss the glory days of when it wasn't a complete sweat fest. So early days CS:GO for me was 2015, 2016 when I was playing that game a lot. You could get up to the higher ranks and not be a complete, god at the video game. Nowadays, I play and it's you're iron. I'm like, what the fuck? How am I just Well, I get that I've taken time off and my aim's gotten worse, but damn, I still have decent game sense. Okay.
I think I'm a 7K elo right now on my main account.
Yeah, on Premiere, it's not that high.
Main account. No, the other account, my other account was for Paul to play with me because his ranked too high to play with me originally.
That's understandable. I definitely have multiple accounts to play with my girlfriend on Valorant because she is not the
You
most skilled
have
at that.
7 different Smurf accounts, bro.
I have 3. I have my main.
I wasn't far off.
No, I got my main, then I got lower back fat. The lower back fat, he's legendary.
Lower back fat's legendary. What's the other one?
Don't worry about it.
What's the other one, Hatch?
Don't worry about it. I'll type it in chat.
You can't say the Smurf account.
I'll type it in chat.
You can't give it away.
Which one? I know you made one named after a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I said. Yeah, all right. I don't know why you can't say that, but
it is some of the funniest shit.
Yeah, it really triggered that person when it came out. Well, all right, guys, we're talking about nerdy things. Yeah, let's just go into this. So, obviously, we've been talking about it on the pod recently, but I went ahead and I sent a whole bunch of cards into PSA to get graded and verified, and to hopefully to make some money, because that's why you send cards in, to be graded, so they become more valuable. Good news is we had some great hits. Some of the cards are already gone. I listed them on eBay, and in the time between when I got these cards and when we did the show, they've already sold out the door, which is great. They were both 10s, so that's awesome. We add those to the count. We had 2 10s that you guys won't see here tonight. But these are the other 5 cards from the first submission order that I did. Let's just go ahead. We'll start out with this one right here. So I'll bring them up. I'll cover up the grade itself, so that way we could just look at the card and see what it is before. I gotta try to get it.
Is that Bulbasaur in there?
In line. There we go.
Okay, sweet.
Up. But yeah, got a little Bulbasaur here. It's a illustration rare from I think Stellar Crown is what set this card is from. Beautiful card. I love it. Big fan of it. There is a line of these cards. One of the ones, actually, I sold the other 2. It's a Charmander, or a Charmander, and a Squirtle that also goes along with it. It's like in the same art shape. This one, however, let's see, we'll get it focused up on camera. It was an 8, unfortunately. So this is where we start my confusion with PSA, because this is a fucking pristine ass card, man. There is no whitening on the back of it.
Like, what's wrong with it?
They don't give you grading like notes or anything like that. Sometimes you can go through and kind of like see if there's a dent or something that maybe you missed on first glance. I don't see it on this one, but obviously they did somewhere along the way. So yeah, got an 8. Unfortunately, that means the market value of this slab is less than the market value of the card by itself raw. So I will be cracking this open and selling it raw on TCG Player. Don't hate me. That's just the game. That's how we do it.
Can you get
going up to our next one.
Wait, sorry, noob question here. Can you like get a second opinion or send it to a different grading house?
So you can send it to a different grader. There's probably about 3 or 4 that are considered like the top ones. There's a couple others other than that too. But you can get it regraded. You can crack a slab and resubmit the card to the same exact, to PSA again if you thought it would be a bigger one. So yes,
say you
and
said
no.
Say you gave it to your buddy and you had your buddy mail it in.
But the problem is some cards are so rare that it's obvious. If you send in a 1 of 1, they're gonna know if you send that in again. If I send like this Bulbasaur back in again, they've graded, I think, 12,000 of these, so it's like, God damn, they see so many of them, they're not going to be able to see if it's the same card coming back to them. Okay. But yeah, like some of the ones I've sent in are out of I told you the podcast about this, it was a Tito Ortiz signature card out of 25, so there's only 25 of those. So if all 25 have been graded and you keep sending them in, they're going to be like, all right, what the fuck's going on here?
This guy's insane, literally.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll get into the next one. We got a little bit of an older card here, a Gengar from the Sword and Shield era. So 2022 on this card from Lost Origin. Absolutely sick card. A little cool artwork. Looks like he's at like the bonfire or something. It's one of my favorites. I like the hollow pattern on it. He's got his eyes. This is going to be one of my keepers. I know I talked to Hatch about the keeper and flipper list. This is going to be in my collection for the next time being. So this was 9 on that. So unfortunately not perfect, not pristine, but pretty damn close. Looking through it myself, I mean, I see maybe the tiniest little speck of whitening on this corner. I know you guys won't see it on the camera.
That's
but
enough for a 9, bro.
Yeah, I mean, barely visible, but maybe that's what they saw on their side. The front looks great, no print lines or anything through it. The hollow pattern looks good. So hey, either way, I'm happy with the 9. I'm gonna hold on to that. It's gonna go in my collection for a while, so that's sick. This card is not sold yet, but it's already been spoken for. I think I'm going to be trading it with Anthony Hernandez, our big Magic friend that we've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering with, and we talk about on the podcast. This is another cool card. Back in the day, another older one from the Sun and Moon era, so 2019 card. It's a tag team card, and these are some of the coolest ones to me. Tag team cards feature 2 Pokemon on the card, so the art will have them together. This is Reshiram and Charizard, and this was a 10. So this is the start of the perfect roster that we got back. So this card, it's anywhere from like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 bucks raw. In a 10, recent sales on eBay are going for about 125 to about 100 bucks. So that's kind of the value that getting a perfect card can bring back to you. So yeah, and they look so fucking sick, man, with the hollow pattern, and they're encased in this like perfect, concealment and protection. It's sick. This next one, it is a part of the sellers list, but I haven't sold it yet, so we'll show it to you guys here on the chat or on the podcast. This was one that I pulled recently from the Japanese set that we did a lot of in December. Definitely a pretty cool card, and in person, the hollow pattern on this is just absolutely insane. The cracked ice that you see there, it just really stands out. But this is a Master Ball Espeon from Terrestrial Festival. The way you can tell it is a Master Ball is the little Pokemon that is behind it. It's a it's going to be a Master Ball. There are versions of this card that have just the Pokeball version. The Master Ball is obviously the most rare one, and with that, it becomes the more expensive one. This Espeon Hollow, let me see, cover it up so it focuses on it. Japanese version was another 10. So nice. This one, perfect card. The best thing about sending Japanese cards in to be graded, a majority of the time they come back 10s more often than not. And the reason being is the quality control on the Japanese printing companies. They usually just print a better product from the factory. So when PSA gets it, it's more perfect and kind of in their ballpark. All right, well, last one for this batch tonight. We got more on the way. I actually got my first update that my second order is being put through the system now, so hopefully a couple more weeks we'll have that one back. But this is going to be the last keeper from this one, another Japanese card. I actually quite enjoyed the art on this one. Features a lot of the original basic evolution Pokemons from 151. They're all kind of hidden around the image, so you got a little Clefairy down here, you got a Growlithe on this side. It is a Pikachu card, so that's why he's in the center, but littered back here there's a whole bunch of cool 151 characters. So got this, picked it, sent it to PSA, hoping for a 10, and we nailed it. We got a 10 on this one as well. Yeah. So this is going to be a keeper. I like it just because it's got the Growlithe next to it. I collect Growlithes myself, so I figured that'd be a sick card to add into the collection with all of those. So those were the 5 cards. I'll kind of slide through them again if you wanted to view them on the video. Got the Espeon, the Reshiram, and the Charizard, Gengar, and last but not least the little Bulbasaur. That whole process took me almost exactly 2 months from start to finish. It will take time and you have to be patient, but like I mentioned, a couple of these cards, they came back as 10s, and I made a couple $100 from that order, so definitely paid for itself for all the grading fees and such.
How familiar are you with this, Quittskii, with Pokemon cards?
So I was I had it when I was really young, like first gen. Mm-hmm. There's so many new ones now, but there's times where I'm like on my phone, if I'm stuck in like a doom scrolling TikTok, I'll come across the lives of people opening packs, and I don't know anything about any of these new Pokemon or new cards and stuff, but I will sit there and watch them just to see if they hit,
Yeah, it's addicting.
And some of them are pretty entertaining, and I never followed any of these pages, but they know I've been watching it, so they'll keep recommending the same people and stuff. I'd be watching, so it's fascinating, the whole world that's come around just collecting just Pokemon cards, and now with the live streaming and stuff, and people buying packs that they open up on their live stream and stuff like that. It's crazy that you're buying you're buying cards for someone else to open for you on their live stream rather than you opening the pack yourself.
Because the difference is they have the inventory and you don't. That's the biggest thing with trading cards right now.
I see. Because they're buying it by the cases.
Trying to find the last set that came out from the Pokemon Company was impossible. I went to a GameStop 3 hours before it opened, and they had 7 pieces of product for that set. Like total from all the different SKUs. It was so bad. The whole entire TCG market was complaining about it. Pokemon Company took quite a bit of a hit for it, and that's actually why I've kind of stepped back from Pokemon. I still like grabbing the original 151 guys, the Pokemon I remember playing with on my Game Boy back in the day. But I've honestly been just getting more into Magic myself, and kind of not only playing the game, but collecting some of the cooler art cards from those as well. And some of those cards, Magic cards, go crazy, man. There's some insanely expensive cards that people just use willy-nilly.
Is there?
Yeah, I have this one that my friend told me it's pretty good. It's called like Black Lotus or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Fuck you.
Like
I know you don't have that card. For the people out there, that's an incredibly rare card that was printed in one of the first sets of Magic the Gathering. And it's
haven't we talked about that on the show
graded
before?
versions can be millions of dollars.
Dude, that's like I think one of the most famous cards, isn't it, or something? That was from when
I think it holds the record as being the highest sale for a single trading card.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
think the best card I had was like Leviathan or something like that. Like
Okay.
I don't know if that's a.
Don't know off the top of my head yet, but
it was a 10-10. Does that sound right? 10-10.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, no, that does sound right. Yeah, it could be like a big green drop or something. All right.
Oh, dude, totally.
Yeah. I haven't. Once again,
Don't act confused, motherfucker. You're playing Magic in like
I know.
a week and
I'm
a half,
learning.
all right? So you better be learning your steps.
Hey, monkey see, monkey do. You know, I'm
also very scared. So there's a concept in Magic the Gathering. You have to play these certain cards called land cards, and those give you mana, which means, fancy way of saying, you need the land cards to be able to cast your creatures. If you don't have enough land, you simply can't play the card. That's how they balance the game. So Two-Ton, obviously, Tanner Monson, our friend out here, he's now getting involved in Magic as well and playing with us. He just bought a deck that from Wizards of the Coast, like from the people who made it, it has land removal cards in there, which are just no fun. Because essentially it means once he plays those cards, you just don't get to play the game anymore. It's one of those things that, you're probably going to win, bud. But you're gay as hell, and no one wants to play with you because now I'm not even playing the game. I'm sitting here while you get to play, and I get to watch you. I don't want to be a cuck in my Magic the Gathering experience.
I'm gonna tell you, no joke. With Yu-Gi-Oh, remember I told you I did like Radio Shack tournaments when I was younger, dude. Yeah. I had this card that was block attack, to where you could not place a monster in attack mode, and I would just if you didn't have a defense deck, I was annihilating you.
100%. This is why we hate Yu-Gi-Oh! It's because you can combo people on turn 0 and win the game before they even play a card.
All luck.
Magic tries to not have that. Like, they try to have it be more, strategy and kind of RNG to it, but man, there's some combos in this game that are just, a lot of them are in like the standard and like the more competitive versions of Magic the Gathering. We play a format called Commander, which it's meant to be a more just you're having fun with your boys, so a lot more things are opened up. There's you're usually not playing it for a tournament type prize pool or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay, that's pretty safe.
Like, literally, the rule, so it's called Rule 0, but it's the first rule of Commander, is that all of the rules mean nothing, and it's up to whoever's playing the game to decide what rules they want to go by. Like, it's meant to be like okay, if you think that should be banned, ban it from your group then. Like, whatever action you think will make it more fun for your group of players.
What are you going to say, Brando?
Have you guys thought about, like, live streaming it or anything there while you're playing it?
It's incredibly hard with Magic because you have to have over-the-head cameras, just because like people have to be able to see your board and like what you're doing with it. So it takes a bit of equipment, honestly.
A lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Can I tell my sad Pokemon card story?
Yes, I would love it.
I mean, I'm interested.
So I had so many first-gen cards back in the day. I had foil Charizard. I had a first edition Blastoise where it had that first edition stamp on it.
Big man Blastoise.
Foiled. Yeah. I think I had almost every Gen 1 foil. It was when I was a little bit older, way younger than I am now, but older, because I got those cards when I was in like elementary school or whatever. When,
Gen 1s would have been like 95, 94 when they came out, so probably I was around 2000s.
School. Yeah, I was in elementary school, so I had all that stuff. I think when I was older, maybe in college, my mom was on this bin, this to clean your you need to clean stuff out of your room.
Everything.
Yeah, clean stuff out of your room, get rid of some of this stuff, and she kind of forced me to sell some of my card binders. So I sold my Pokemon card binder at an indoor swap meet, I think for $60, man.
Holy shit, bro!
I guarantee you those cards are lost to the ether today, but they would be worth pretty penny.
That would have been probably, I don't know, 2007 or 8 I sold them, maybe 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it actually might have even been before college. I might have been in high school or something. But they were never really going up in value. Pokemon didn't have the resurgence yet that it does right now and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's literally because we're I was talking with Anthony about this. It's all the kids who grew up like wanting to play these games and like seeing, you know, older people play them. But now we have disposable income and we can spend $100 on a booster box and say, fuck it, you know? So
I'll test my luck.
Well, not even that, but it's like, all right, I need this card, so I need to rip open these packs so I can get this card so it goes in my deck so I can win the game. But I can do that now instead of when you were a kid and you're just like, maybe Santa will bring me one.
Good old Santa
and
Claus.
He never did, that bastard.
Hey, you don't believe, you don't receive. That's what I was told.
I still have a bunch of sports cards left and stuff like that, like old NBA stuff from that same time period, 93, 4, 5 in a binder. I think
you got any Jordans in there?
Look through and find those. I have Kobe's though and stuff like that.
Kobe's have gone up in value, as you can imagine.
Yeah, but they've been in this binder. They're probably all kind of bent and stuff. Did he say why?
Yeah.
Honestly, disrespect a legend like that, dude. It's Kobe.
Wait, you could like go through, grab one of the apps on your phone that like will scan cards from you, and like.
Oh what? Oh, dude. Yeah. Please, maybe after the pod.
That's what he's like. Just go through and just scan your binder and see like, oh, it's a $10 one. You know, let's see, is it in good condition? We'll just sell it, or you know, whatever.
Dude. Yes, please let me know the name of like the actual name or something. Dude, I definitely.
I'd have to look up one for sports cards. I know they exist for sports cards. I use the one for trading card stuff just because it makes it easy. You're just opening stuff. You're like, wait, is that card actually?
Bam!
Oh, it's $20 card. All right, let's leave it.
I love technology, man.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, definitely.
AI databases.
Yeah, we got that. We're on that good level where the future of technology for us, dude, is gonna make things so much easier. Oh my god.
That like AI hasn't fully taken over
everything.
Yet. Yeah, we're right at that point where we get to experience AI. It hasn't taken over the world yet. We're not enslaved to the robots and stuff.
Our 70s are gonna suck.
You know,
but until
we
then,
hit Terminator phase.
Dude, when I'm 80, we're probably gonna have a robot wiping my ass, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
how long until that robot hates you though, Hatch?
They already have like that. They have that. Dude, when I went to Japan and they had the toilets
bidets.
The future toilets.
Welcome to a first world country.
Holy shit, they already do have
life-changing, dude.
The robots already do wipe our ass. I didn't even think of it like that.
Hatch, do you not know what a bidet is?
I know exactly what a bidet is. That's what I'm saying. I didn't realize. I never
it's
really
not wiping
looked
your
at
ass. It's spraying high pressured water at your ass. It's a difference.
Something about Poseidon's kiss on my fucking pink dog. This is not so fucking fun, dude. I've never used one.
Do you like being clean? Because I like being clean.
I've never used one before.
It's a shocking experience. I've used it a couple times because I don't own one, but
don't be. You gotta embrace it.
Oh god,
embrace it, dude.
You guys are making this sound like a treat.
Your sphincter will never be clean.
Yeah, you guys are making this sound like I'm about to get massaged or something.
Dude, they know what they're doing over there.
Got heated seats.
My hotel
my
hotel in Japan had it, and my hotel in Taiwan had it. It was very nice.
Oh shit.
That's the cool perks of being an airsoft now, like because it's more international and like the Asia market and stuff like that. I got to go to Japan, got to go to Taiwan. I'm trying to go back to Japan,
which is part of China, right?
Huh?
Taiwan?
No,
it's part of China, right?
No, it's part of the U.S. technically. If you go over there.
Okay, that's interesting. You think that, sir? Yeah.
I call it when I was over there.
Call my boy Z up. We'll see how your opinion changes on that matter.
Dude, when I was there, so I went to the two back-to-back. I went to Japan. I had like a business meeting out there, and then I went to Taiwan for a show after. And Japan's just so freaking cool, dude. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. You feel safe walking around at night. The food's amazing. All the architecture, the culture, like...
Their currency's weak as fuck, so you're rich there.
Yeah, dude, that was yep. Food was so cheap, dude. I was having amazing sushi.
You think it's a joke? I have been thinking about going to Japan, man. Like,
right,
I am trying to get there.
Let's plan a trip, dude.
Right times.
FTS
now's a good time to go to Japan. Our dollar is very strong over there, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I've been buying Japanese Pokemon product, Brandon. Do you understand why now?
Wow.
It's incredibly cheap.
Yeah. So cool. And then we went over to Taiwan, and Taiwan's cool in its own way, but like coming like right after Japan, it's like nothing compares. Like nothing, we went to a bunch of like shrines and temples in Japan, and we did the very touristy because we only had 1 day of work for being there 3 days. So all the other days we just did touristy stuff.
Were you where were you in Japan? Like were you more southern?
We started in Osaka. We went up to Kyoto for a day, and they didn't want to take the train or anything like that. I was with like one of the owners of my company and then my boss Andy. The owner of my company, she got us taxis everywhere. We must have spent $1,000 US in taxis.
Holy shit!
Like literally hour-long
dude dude who sent me this box I pulled this card from is in Osaka. I met him on Instagram, and I just Instagram DM him, and he sends me an invoice. It's the fucking best thing ever. I love the Japanese people.
The food in Osaka is unreal. One night we had king crab, and then we went and had Kobe steaks, like back to back. The street food's fresh. Good. Like the ice cream and desserts are good. Like the sushi is the best sushi I ever had. They had like 5 different kinds of toro. Like it was like different. It was like fatter than that last one, fatter than that last one, and then the fattest fucking one we have here. And I had tried, dude. Amazing. Yeah. I recommend anyone looking for a cool vacation, because
the other Asian country I really want to.
Expensive. But once you
Japan,
get there,
the other Asian country I really want to go to is Korea.
Yeah, that's on my list.
The 4th member of our broadcast studio, Lastro Lopez, he spent a lot of time there. He was stationed over there for a bit of his career, and dude, just all the stories he tells, it sounds crazy, you know.
So I was there. I had my layover there.
Okay.
Scariest landing I've ever been in. Like holy crap, dude. I'm looking. I always have a window seat, dude. Dude, some big Wong. I look out the window. It was so foggy and cloudy. My seat was over the wing. I look out the window. I can't even see the wing of the plane, dude.
It's okay.
And
the plane
we're coming in to land, and the plane's just dropping like this as we're coming in.
Instrument landing system.
Dude, what's up?
Instrument landing system. It's the ILS.
Yeah, supposedly they could full autopilot land and stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So it's very trustworthy.
It's a signal that the tower sends to the plane, and it gives them like real-time data for that condition, and the plane literally lands itself.
Dude, I literally let out a shriek on one of the drops. Like I screamed. I already don't like flying.
I feel like you just need to grow up, you know?
No, I don't like flying.
Can I get like an example of that scream? What does it sound like?
I was like, ah!
Oh, like that. Okay.
High pitch, like
it's a real one. That's how you know.
People turned and looked at me and stuff. I'm white knuckling. I'm watching some terrible new Fast and the Furious movie, like one of the newer ones.
You're saying all the wrong things right now.
No, newer. First in Tokyo Drift, amazing. Anything other than that, garbage.
Whoa, I thought Fast 5 was pretty good. Not gonna lie, I like Fast 5.
Which one? Which one? You have to remind me. Which one was 5 again?
Arrest Vince or
that
Dom
was
Toretto.
Yeah. That was the very first one before The Rock got overrated. Right. That was when they were fucking like beating each other's ass.
I'll have to rewatch it.
Through the streets of Rio.
I also thought it was pretty sick how they're doing like they grab challengers, right?
Pulling the safe? Is it
that pulling the safe.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
That was when it was like right on it being too much.
It was already too much. There, you're pulling a safe with these dog challengers, dude. Too much. The reason the first one was so freaking good is because it was somewhat realistic. Granted, the driving under it was mostly street racing. It was
you mean the 28 upshifts during a quarter mile is realistic? Because that's not realistic to me.
I'm talking about the special effects. They were practical special effects. You know, it wasn't as CGI.
Because they didn't have they didn't have computer generated imagery,
or they did, but it wasn't as what it's like today. And then all the new ones just got ridiculous. But anyways, I'm on that plane, and there's a scene in that Fast and the Furious where there's a plane that's like crashing and going down, and I'm watching that as the plane is violently shaking and fucking dropping, dude. I was like,
it was God telling you what's about to happen.
Yeah, seriously, I was like, not like this, not like.
You just chose the worst Fast and Furious movie to show it to you with.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't let him go out watching this garbage.
Hey, were there a lot of people that spoke English there in Japan?
So I was lucky. My old boss at Lancer, Andy Yoshida, he's Japanese. He can get by. He doesn't speak it. He speaks enough to get by. The people at the hotel spoke English. Yeah, there's some amount, kinda. I guess. Okay. Yeah, enough. We were never, but we were also we were out there to meet up with this company called Lilacs, which is a Japanese airsoft company, and they have people there. A lot of the people there, some of the people there do speak English, and they came out
kind of helped
friends and stuff. So they came out with us like the first night. We went eating and like out and drinking and stuff. And I wasn't really drinking. I didn't get the experience like that part because I went on like a 2.5 year.
Japan loves their alcohol.
No sake.
Yeah, I know I should have too because I do love sake. I had some when I was at World Cup. Because it was my it's always my birthday. Yeah. It's always my birthday during World Cup. My birthday is November 7th, so we went to Kobe one night, so I got some sake. The next night went to Charlie's. I had another drink that night.
Okay, these guys took me to fucking medieval times. You guys gonna take me to Charlie's next time? No, it was sick. Don't get me wrong, but goddamn, you're getting steaks for your birthday at World Cup.
I mean, I would go with the Charlie's. I'm with the owners of HK Army.
My birthday's in July, and I celebrated a cup.
Dude, there was one year when I was with HK Army, we literally went to Kobe, Charlie's, Kobe, Charlie's. That's all we ate for 5 days.
That was 15 grand of just food expenses.
Crazy. Well, except for the last day, because it was either Heat or Dynasty that one. So,
so they took care of that one. But
yeah. So the last one, yeah. That's always the best dinner, though. I don't know if Ryan, have you ever
done a couple.
One of those?
I've done a couple.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's nothing like that end of
I
World
think
Cup
I've been
Pro
to 4
Championship
Dynasty victory dinners, and they're great.
Yeah, it's so fun. The vibes are so good. The food's amazing. All that hard work all weekend long just culminates right there with a good steak dinner, dude. It's just. That was always.
Well, shit back gave us a dinner, goddamn it.
My favorite part about events. There's 2 things: seeing all my friends.
Say it, Brandon.
No, continue.
Seeing all my friends, and then the good food that we would get at HK Army, because the HK Army, they treat their employees. That's
great to hear.
How those books doing?
Books.
I'm talking about the accounting books.
But
Brandon, what were you gonna say? Your thing? You made a whole lead up and then you just didn't say it. What?
Oh no! Our post Sunday Chipotle meals really hits the spot, doesn't it, Hatch?
Yeah, definitely.
It hits the same. Yeah, you guys get your Chipotle. Oh yeah. Well, speaking of flying, I'll kick us off. Kind of final topic for the night, because I flew out to San Jose. Well, I flew out to San Jose, but then we went down to about an hour south of that to Hollister, a little city kind of near Monterey down in the Bay. So fun fact, guys, when you take a 6 a.m. flight from Austin, Texas to San Jose, California, it is filled with nothing but Apple Max headphone users. The amount of tech bros on this flight was insane. The dress code looked like it was buttoned up shirt with a sweater underneath. I've never seen this amount of tech bros in one spot before, but that's where they congregate. So what is it? The girls who are 6 figure, 6 inches, 6 feet. Yeah, those girls go to a flight between Austin and San Jose at 6. Yeah, there you go. You'll find them at the flight from San Jose to Austin at 6 a.m. That's your market for that. Went out there, filmed for a couple days, had a really quick turnaround. I got there freaking Tuesday at, I want to say we got in at 8, and I flew out this morning at 6 a.m. So I was there for less than 48 hours, just doing marketing content. Nice. The podcast listeners will know, but I've talked about this in the past. But one of my old friends from back in the day, he recently acquired a cheer gym, so he'll fly, when I was living there, I'd drive down and do some stuff for him, but he really wanted things done, so he was like, all right, man, we're gonna fly you out and get this going. So yeah, it was cool. Got to see. It's funny, we call them my nieces and nephews. They've known me their whole life. They all call me Uncle Ryan, but it was cool to see all of them. And one of them is sick as of today, so there's a very good chance that they probably coughed in my face at some point along the way. So I may be sick this weekend. We'll see what happens. That's the one thing I don't love about little kids. They just fucking the little bundles of just, I don't know, horribleness.
You need to get better, dude, because I'll be there by this. I'll be on a plane by this time next week.
I know, I'll be good for that. Just maybe this weekend I might be chilling, not going that hard. But yeah, so got all that done. It was kind of standard stuff, doing some interviews, doing some B-roll stuff. Nothing too exciting, but it was cool. A couple days out there. Got to see some people. We did. So one of the mornings, it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday we got there. The gym doesn't really open up till 12 or 1 when classes start coming in and people start using it. So I was just hanging out with Derek on his property that he has out there, and he recently got this air rifle, like a pellet air rifle. Yeah. And so he's like, dude, I've not sighted it in yet. So for 2 hours we were with this thing, we were sighting it in, and then we started waging war against the squirrels, because obviously they live on these big pastures, and so the squirrels make all these holes, and then horses break their legs and everything, so they're a pest animal out there. But so we sat up on the fence line, just sitting there kind of waiting for them to show. They would pop their heads up every now and then. We'd miss because we're shooting a fucking air rifle and it's not that consistent of a shot, but yeah, it was a good way to kill a couple hours hours, and then went and did the not so fun stuff of actually filming content. But it was fun to be back in California. California prices are crazy. Fucking gas prices was the first thing that hit me. I paid literally $2.10 cheaper of gas in the day before when I was out here than what it was in California currently. It's just absolutely insane. Don't know how you guys deal with that.
I got a hybrid. That's how I
got a hybrid. That's how you deal with it. Exactly.
It cost me $35 to fill up my car now. I get 400 miles.
Hey, it also cost me $35 to fill up my car in an actual normal state. Yeah, it was great to be back in California, but I'm definitely happy to be back in Texas, and yeah, so now I gotta spend all weekend putting that all together and getting it sent over to him. But yeah, Hatch, we're looking forward to you next up.
Hell yeah.
I had a quick question. How long have you been in Texas for?
I've been out here. We're getting to about 4 or 5 months now because it came down beginning of September.
Have you done summer yet? And what part of Texas are you in?
I'm in Round Rock, which is just
so
north of Austin. Yeah. Yes, I was here for kind of the trail end of the summer. We had some fucking brutal days.
Dude, it's crazy.
And it's only going to get bad again. But, dude, it kind of like teased us a little bit because we had this week, first week of February was like freezing. Like we actually had snow and stuff on the ground. The week after it was 80 and like humid. And then now back again, we're back into the 40s. I don't know what the fuck's going on weather-wise here, but it's gonna probably be a hot-ass summer if it's moving the way it is.
Dude, I was in San Antonio twice last year in the summer. It is so hot, dude. I was filming indoors at a airsoft field indoors, no AC, just the big industrial fans. Dude, it is tough. I don't know how anyone lives down there.
So when I was working the touring production stuff, we had a reoccurring show on like our national tour each summer. That was in San Antonio at the Scottish Rite. I actually told a funny story from that a couple weeks ago on the show. But we every day, because we were wearing business attire, so you have to wear like a suit, you have a jacket over, and all that stuff. It's annoying as hell to fucking film that all day. But what we learned is you essentially you could only walk over in your undershirt, because if you actually put your shirt and jacket on, you'd be sweated through it by the time you actually walk into the venue. So yeah, every morning there'd just be like 4 of us with our suits in hand, fucking walking over, already sweating our asses off at 8 a.m.
Looking like a frat boy right over the shoulder.
Yeah, 100%, man. There was also the first year that the scooters came out. That was like, it was like a new hype thing, and we stayed kind of close to that venue, but it still was, good 4 or 5 block walk. Dude, every morning there was just a line of scooters on the way over there, just zipping on over.
That's sick. Damn. I don't know what the hate is for all the scooters, bro. Everybody always destroys them.
They're pretty gay, I'm gonna be honest.
They're so annoying, dude.
Yeah.
The people that ride them in, like, out here, they ride them in the middle of the street and stuff. There's someone in my apartment complex that leaves one behind my car constantly, so I gotta keep moving it.
Bro, that shit would
every time.
piss me off.
Or worse, it's knocked over in front of, like, my car parking spot, so I gotta park, get out, move it somewhere, get back in my car, and all my stuff's like on weird angles and stuff, so it's a pain in the ass.
I would find out who the fuck's leaving it and give them a little, peace of mind.
I already think I know who it is.
Oh, hell yeah.
What do they look like? What would you say?
Oh God, Brandon,
I can't.
That's a post.
What would their favorite sport be?
Oh, it's a post. Oh
no, because that would no, I can't say that either.
Okay, so they're big basketball fans. Thanks, appreciate that.
No one watches the NBA anymore.
Right, WNBA.
Some people do, but Hatch. So one final thing we had to do on the show before we get out of here. We are coming to the end. You wanted us to remind you because you were supposed to play this last week, but you didn't. So
and it was last post show too.
Yeah, so voicemail. There you go. That's the words.
Absolutely.
I just hatched Mason sleeper agent him.
Yeah, so multiple, so February 3rd, I got this message, right, from this Instagram user. Do I say the name?
Yeah, shout out the name.
Yeah, okay, Shred King, fucking beast, right? So I'm gonna play this message for everybody, so everybody can hear it. This is pretty sick.
Hatch was hyped up about this.
So, I want to tell you a little story of ICPL this weekend. So we're playing with the Wolverines out of Capitol Edge. And we're getting ready to play our Mounds field. And my job is to go up to the center 40, 50, and kind of chop dudes that are trying to come through on us. Well, I remember your little saying that you said, stabbers don't get stabbed.
Yep.
Well, I went up to that center 40, hung out for a minute, nobody came through on us, so I decided that rather than waiting around for somebody to come stab me, I was going to go do some stabbing. So I go taking off through the middle, one buddy on my left, shoot him. come through again, body on my right, shoot him. Go to the next set of mounts, body on my left, shoot him. Go forwards a little bit more, body on my right, shoot him. So I'm 4-pack this time. One dude left in the snake, come around, ear hole him, move right on down through, grab the flag, run it.
That's my guy.
Take the W. And I just want to say thanks for giving me a little inspiration with the stabbers don't get stabbed.
Hell yeah.
Hey, shout out to Shred King, bro. Let me just say, dude. Hey, once a stabber, always a stabber, dude. It's one of those things where you just feel it in your blood, and if you don't have that mindset, bro, dude, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be 10 times harder if you don't got that mindset.
Yeah, man. That little voice in your head that says go, listen to it and fucking just go. Because if you sit waiting for it, it's going to come and eat you up.
100%. And one thing is, dude, with that stabber's mindset that you can learn from is, dude, sometimes you push and go, go, go. Then push till you get shit on, dial it back by 1%.
Yeah,
1% less.
That was Ian. He was at Capital Edge damn near every weekend, and then he moved up to the Northeast somewhere. Forget where. He still flies out every now and then to come play at Capital Edge. Yeah. Any mech event we have on the West Coast, he flies out. Dude, love Ian. Ian, if you're listening, you're awesome. I love you, dude.
Brandon, can I do something we don't normally do?
What up?
Can we make Ian the cool guy of the week?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. That's
Ian
set in stone right now.
Let's
Shred
go.
King. Anyone who's going to fly cross country to play with their boys, that's cool guy of the week. That's cool guy of the week material.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shit. We do it all the time.
That's true. We do. That's why I still see you fuckers, even though I moved thousands of miles away from you guys.
Hey, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Speaking of that, let's we got the code word of the week. Let's go ahead. Let's get the cool guy or cool guy of the week. Let's go ahead and get the code word of the week.
Check this one out. Written before he was even on here. Check me out. Ready? Look at this. Can't really see it. Never Quittskii. You like that? Play on words. Never Quittskii.
I mean, the whiteboard reveal has definitely elevated the code word of the week game. It gets better now that there's a reveal.
That's written on there before we even start. I don't even. I don't turn around to draw it. It's been there.
Hatch throws a Hail Mary and hopes it fucking lands
Yep,
at the end
I
of
gotta
the show.
somehow tie it in, bro. I gotta somehow tie it. When we don't have a guest and I can't play a play on name for their name, I'm like, shit, dude. How do I randomly bring up like fucking Quetzalcoatlus? You know what I'm saying? You know?
Okay, what was it? One more time, Hatch.
Never Quittskii.
Never Quittskii. Hell yeah. All right. Well, speaking of Quittskii, Quitman, so happy to have you on tonight, man.
David.
You have such an amazing story. That is why we honestly just shut the hell up for an hour and a half, because there's a lot that I know you can talk about, and I feel like we barely scratched the surface of some of it as well.
Yeah, we really did. I feel like I didn't say anything. I'm a yapper, though. What can I say?
Hey, relatable, brother. Relatable.
Yapper.
Yeah, no, Hatch could definitely relate. But man, we appreciate it. If anyone is, maybe they don't follow you already, if they're interested in kind of seeing more of your content, seeing what you're up to, where can they find some more information about you?
Yeah, so at Instagram, at HKArmy, at granted I don't do much for that, but you should be following that anyways. At Hostile Airsoft, I think we're shadow banned like everyone in Airsoft, so you got to type it all the way out. That's pretty much where I do all my posting right now. And then Hostile Airsoft on TikTok, YouTube has got some like a few longer form videos and stuff like that, because I still doing event videos and stuff like that. And like kind of like what I did for paintball and stuff. It's not all just short form stuff. There's some like more longer, nice wide stuff on the YouTube page. My personal is at Quittskii. I don't post on there a ton anymore, really. It's just I hit my follower goal a long time ago, and then I'm just everything else is just like whatever.
I feel that. So, it's kind of like you hit the top of the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, don't even get me into Instagram and followers and the real stuff and.
Shorts is a cheat code, by the way. Just know that.
All that BS. For YouTube, yeah. I know for YouTube, yeah.
Just shorts, but just short content in general. It's
yeah, 100%. As long as you're consistent with it and stuff like that, that's the main key, is being consistent with your content. That's where I've noticed the biggest upticks, ever, because the Hostile Airsoft account's growing so fast right now. because it definitely did get harder to grow on Instagram compared to like the real algorithm days that we got to experience like 3-ish years ago, or however
it was
long
crazy.
it was when we're all us paintball people were getting, well, not me getting a million views off someone loading a pod, because I never would post a content like that on my personal.
Okay, I got 50 mil off that. I'll take it.
Yeah, dude, that's the cheat. You want to talk about cheat code? Fucking missing half a pod loading. God.
Thank you, Ronnie.
No, dude.
Don't even get me started on that meta. That was the worst Instagram meta of all time, dude.
No, dude,
I did not like
bad
that meta.
When Ryan got one of me reloading, and I missed hella, and the clip still didn't do very good, and I'm like, fuck, motherfucker.
You know? We're out of it now. Yeah,
it was like rate the Master Chief's reload, and I was like, well, shit.
Yeah. So yeah, those are all my socials and stuff like that. You can find me on there. If anyone out there, if you ever have questions about like video marketing, that kind of stuff, my DMs are always open. I help a lot of people out. Usually, I have a lot of young people I've mentored. Yeah, there's people I've mentored throughout the years and helped out. I love doing it. You know, it's
episodes of Rebirth wouldn't exist without Quittskii. Just straightforward. I mean, no, it's the truth, man. I wouldn't have been able to get onto those fields. So, yeah, I always got to thank you for that. And yeah, well, more people should know that you're
of course
not just a media guy in the sport. Yeah, you're also kind of the people who know, you know?
No, dude, imagine if you could account for how many people that, like, one of your videos that was posted on, like, HK was the first time ever seeing paintball, right? To where they're like, oh, shit, dude, that's what I want to do.
So that's my goal with Hostile Airsoft now. I just want people to see it, think, oh, this looks cool and stuff like that, and then, you know, go out and try it and stuff like that. So that's the long road ahead. It's just growing the tournament airsoft scene, making HK Army Hostile Airsoft like a figure, or like, you know, a staple in that scene and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm really excited. Hostile Airsoft's still super, like, kind of new and stuff like that, and I'm really really excited to see where I can take it and stuff like that. And,
there's a lot of potential.
It's not just me, it's a team. I got a great team of guys behind me, all the owners at HK Army, you know, that are designers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great squad. Now it's just me kind of like heading the marketing and like some of the other like visions for it and direction. Yeah, I think we're kind of a force to be reckoned with now. So super excited for this year and following years. And it's good to be back with the boys at HK, end of the day. Grass is not always greener on the other side, I'll tell you that.
Not always.
Definitely. I've learned that the hard way for sure.
I learned that from Little Mermaid. All right, guys. I gotta go.
But the airsoft side's is a lot cleaner than the paintball side. I'll say that.
It's a lot cleaner.
My cameras never looked more spotless.
Yeah, I heard they ban people over some willy-nilly shit.
I was gonna say it's a little more gayer, if I've heard too. So let's keep moving forward.
That's a personal opinion, and it takes one to know one. So you know, teach their own.
We all play fake war.
I'm just saying, off the stories I've been told, there's some sus things going on in that sport. All right, guys. Well, we gotta bring the show to an end.
I wish I could say the stuff I want to kind of say about some manufacturers and lawsuits and stuff that are kind of revolving around in the paintball world, but
we don't talk about pending lawsuits here. We would already be talking about one.
Supposedly they settled, which means something happened. So you know,
you never know.
So, yeah. You know.
Yeah, we got a lot we could say on that topic. Well, guys, make sure I'm finishing the show now. So shut the fuck up.
I'm not trying to get sued
here we go.
Sorry.
Wait, really quick. Fucking Mike Quittskii.
Ryan, wait, really quick. I've been told, and this is something I need to work on. I've been told I interrupt people a lot, and I'm trying to get better at it. So I'm very sorry if I cut.
Well, let me interrupt you to say that yes, you do sometimes.
I know, and it's something I need to work on. It really is. So I'm trying really hard.
I'll say this in the format of a podcast. But I'm trying like
really hard to get better at it. And stop doing it to people.
I feel like on a podcast, it's more
but I don't even realize when I'm doing it. That's the crazy part.
It's more stacking, not interrupting. You know, that's for the podcast way. That's how I would classify it.
So if you're out there and you want to rate the show, okay, well, yeah. So guys, make sure you drop a rating on the show. Seriously, I say it every week, but it takes you guys 10 seconds to do. It does genuinely help us out here with the algorithms on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So please, if you feel the need to, you enjoyed the podcast tonight, we would definitely appreciate it. You can also subscribe on those platforms as well. Just another little thing you can do to help us out, make us look better on those algorithms. Patreon, that's where you're going to get access to the Patreon post show. You're going to get access to the episode early every single week. There's ad-free ad-free versions of the show. All the bonus content goes up over there. So if you enjoyed the show tonight, you want to hear some more stuff with us, with some of our guests in the past, you got to head over to patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. Get signed up over there and get access to extra content every single week. We also got the merchandise website. It's finally coming back up. XXV, the label who we work with, they've gone a complete whole, redesign and reconstruction of their website and everything. So happy to see that that's starting to come back up from them. Hopefully we'll have some options for that soon. And then Hatch and I have also been working on some other merchandise projects in the background as well. So stay on the lookout. More things to come in the future. That should be cool, hopefully. And then last but not least, I got to remind you guys of our sponsors. Put us on for every week of the year, and we love them. We appreciate them. My brain is fried at this point. LiquidIV.com. Head over there. Promo code Mafia_Moffitt, just 20% off and free shipping over at checkout with them. NECTR Energy, that's next up. NECTR.energy. The neurotropic pouch. Head over there. Use promo code MafiaProductions, just all one word there. Gonna buy 2, get 1 free. And lastly, Welt's Clothing. Code FTS. Save yourself some money on Welt's Wednesday, first Wednesday of every month. Limited edition apparel dropped at their website, weltsclothing.com. All right, well, boys, that's the episode of the show. Quittskii, appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, bro, for blessing us with your time, bro. Seriously.
Yeah. You got all your final thoughts.
It was nervous for me to send out that DM, bro. It was nervous for me. I was like, dude, fuck.
Why?
Loki sending out. But dude, it made it a lot easier. It made it a lot easier for me with how the camaraderie that you and I have had at the more recent events. So I'm like, all right, dude, sweet. I would consider you the homie.
I always feel like I'm an easy person to approach and stuff like that.
Yeah,
not pussy.
He's not that intimidating.
Nah, I'm just pussy.
No. I try to be nice to everyone. You really gotta wrong me bad to be on my shit list. So
yeah,
hell yeah.
It's a pretty small list.
We know. Brandon, final thoughts for tonight's show, man.
Finally be able to actually have a conversation with you, Quittskii. Haven't met you at the events. I've seen you, of course, but it's always running around and everything. So yeah, it's really cool. So much more I'd still like to hear about your background.
We'll get you back on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you guys want me back on, I'll come back on one of these days.
We always have more time.
Absolutely.
With
like a brand or something,
or a New World War or something like that. Luckily, the war was yesterday, and I got one tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay. So you can slot us in. Well, we appreciate that.
We have Everfall, dude. I can't lose Everfall, dude. It's too much gold. I got like $1 million in the
really
is.
Gold.
We got $1 million in the treasury right now. Like, we're about to do payouts to all the company members.
It was funny. So I will tell this background story. Originally, when we were trying to set up a date with Quittskii, he told Hatch, man, I got a New World War that day. Just let Ryan know and he'll understand. And Hatch sent me that text, and I was instantly like, I mean, we can't pull him from that. Like, there's 70 other people who he's already committed to. Like,
49 other people depending on me, and I'm our top VGIG support player, so I kind of got to be there. I hold it down.
He's important. He's important in digital worlds, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder of that.
Hey, hell yeah, brother.
Well, let's finally bring this show on home. If you guys are still interested in more content, it'll be up on the Patreon on the post show, and we're going to be jumping into that just briefly here. So, for Stephen Hatch, for Brandon Brando, Baird, for our special guest, Quittskii, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffitt. This has been From the Sidelines, episode number 133. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Hatch, do that thing you do.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.